Welcome everyone to the PJ's Cast. I'm your host Pierce, alongside of my good pal Dylan, doing our first podcast of 2026. It feels weird saying that. I'm gonna have to get used to it. Recording on January 6th, just your average day. Nothing has ever happened on this day ever. It's just your average day. But hey, the Hawks, they're perfect in 2026 so far. They're 3-0, and since Christmas, they're 4-1-1, and hey, they finally won a second game of the back-to-back. I see the Chicago Bears made the playoffs. They're playing the Packers in the wild card round, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Rubber
How are
match.
you feeling about that? How'd you feel about the season? I would expect good. It's exceeding expectations, but I want to hear what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I mean, you can't look at it as anything else other than a success. They had 5 wins the year before. They finished with 11 wins. They won the division. If you would have told me a year ago from today, or honestly, that they were going to win the division with a losing record in the division, I probably wouldn't have believed you. But also, I would have been like, wait, we won the fucking division. That's pretty sweet. And they had a tough schedule down the stretch, and obviously they had that heartbreaker in San Francisco, and
Oh
they didn't
yeah.
start on time in Detroit, but still were able to lock up the 2 seed in the NFC. And you're getting a limping Packer team without Micah Parsons round one, and it'd be really nice to exercise all those demons, to show it's a new era of Bears playoff football. Because I mean, I'll just put it bluntly: last time Bears and the Packers played in the playoffs, the backup quarterback for the Bears threw a pick six to a D tackle. So it's like we got to exercise a lot of demons, and like they did. I think they did to an extent a couple weeks ago, but this is a whole different level. Because I'm going to be honest, like it's a great season, but man, that's the biggest booger on the cake if they lose to Green Bay in the wild card round. Like, yeah, I can't. Like the 2018 year was great. It was one of the best defenses I've ever seen in my life, and I only think of the double doink when I think of that season. And like Khalil Mack's awesome. That's like all I think about. And if this season ends with a loss to the Packers, it's like, man, this team was like maybe it's the start of something new, but like especially with the NFL, it's really hard to get back. Like the Bears are. I like to think the Bears are in a similar situation to what the Bengals were in 2021, where you have the second-year first overall quarterback. He's playing lights out. The offense is playing great. Yeah, the defense isn't great, but they somehow make enough plays most of the time. They broke that high all the way to going to a Super Bowl. Obviously, they were a play
Yeah.
away from winning. Jamar Chase is wide open down the sideline, but Aaron Donald makes a great play. But they haven't been back. That's been 5 years. They made the playoffs once since then. And they haven't made it the last 3 years, and Burrow hasn't been healthy any of those last 3 years. So, or actually, last year he was healthy, but my point still stands. It's really hard to get back. I'd say harder in this than in like a hockey or basketball or baseball, because once you have that nucleus of players in other sports, you usually got a couple year window. Like especially hockey. Like hockey, you got at least a 3 year window
Oh
if you
yeah.
built your team
Hmm.
properly. Like look at the Panthers. Um, this is like what year? Well, I guess it'd be year 4 of them being really good if you can count 2021.
Year five. Yeah,
Yeah,
year
year
five.
5. But like their core window, they made the cup 3 times. The NFL, unless you really strike iron, your window is year by year. So much can change in the NFL. Contract can get cut. So much can change in terms of injuries. I feel like it's one of the more injury prone sports out there, just from what these players get put in a position to do. So you got to make it count. And there's a real world where the Bears have 2 home playoff games, and they go to Seattle for the NFC title game. I'm not looking that far ahead. You got to look one game at a time. And it's good to have playoff football for the first time since COVID for the Bears. So, and I don't really count that year. I really count 2018 because 2020 was like the first year they added the pity 7th seed, and we just got punched in the mouth by the Saints. So I don't really count that. But it's a great season. Caleb broke the passing yard record. Kevin Byard, one of my favorite players of all time, led the league in picks. Such a cool accolade to have for, a player who never really played for the Bears. I always liked him when he was a Titan, and he's really, really helped out this team, especially leadership wise. I feel like he's a huge leader on the team. Same with Joe Tooney. Like that O line's so good. That O line's so good. It's the best O line I've ever seen in my life for the Bears, and I can honestly say that. I know the Olin Kreutz ones were good, but it was the guards weren't as good to match Olin. This is guard, center, guard, pound for pound, best in the league. And, you got to ride your strengths, but it's really hard to look at this and not realize this defense is a massive Achilles heel of this team. And They can't rush the quarterback, and you're going to play a lot of really good quarterbacks if you want to win a Super Bowl. So, got to win the turnover battle. Got to run the ball. Got to control time of possession. Can't have another game like Detroit where you get the ball 3 times and a half. You're never going to win that way. And I trust Caleb Williams more than I trust any other Bears quarterback in my life. He's the most clutch quarterback in football. Statistics prove that. No one's had more game-winning drives in a season. No one's come back down 2 minutes more than the Bears ever in NFL history. Cardiac Bears. Got to ride it till they have a heart attack. And, let's hope that's not anytime soon. And I'm glad the game's on Saturday because I get to go home and watch it with everyone. If it was on Sunday or Monday, I probably wouldn't have been able to. So that's nice too. Because 2018, I was in South Carolina, so it was just me and Hakeem. So it's gonna be fun. But resounding success of the season, and it's just the beginning. You got the quarterback, you got the coach. That's all you need. It's like the best building block you could have.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Blue Jays in a way where they had such a horrible 2024 and I had no expectations going into the seasons, and somehow, some way they went on a crazy run the last couple months of the season and won the AL East. But it's like, okay, cool, you won the AL East, but you're playing the Yankees in the division series. It'd be at least nice to get to the championship series, just say you can beat the Yankees, and they made it all the way to the World Series. But I like what you brought up earlier, kind of as a discussion point of across sports, how hard it is to build up a team and keep a window going. Because in hockey, yeah, it takes forever to build up a team, as we're figuring out with the Blackhawks and even a previous generation of the Blackhawks. Like, I think Duncan Keith was drafted in 2002, and Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane, they were drafted 2006, 2007. Took like 7 or 8 years for that full rebuild to be done, and then they had almost a decade long of them winning 3 Stanley Cups, conference finals runs. You can look at the Penguins. They had, I think 3 years in a row it was Fleury, Malkin, Crosby, and then they had a window for about 15 years, and now it's finally shut. Shoot, look at the Boston Bruins. I would say arguably their window is still open. Like, they missed the playoffs a couple of years, but they've never bottomed out. The same thing with the Washington Capitals, where I can't really speak to football and basketball, but it feels like in baseball you can have a really bad year and then immediately the next year be a very good team, but the window is so short to do it, which is why, as much as I despise the Dodgers and even teams like the Astros, like, they had great runs for almost a decade, and it's so hard to do.
You got a point with baseball. I think baseball is the closest, actually, now that you mention it, because you can strike while the iron's hot. Like, I think of the White Sox, right? Like, the White Sox were never great, but they had like a 30-month window where they were really, really good, and it fell off a cliff after that. Like, it's a short window where you got to strike where the iron's hot. And one of the things that, and this is why I say the NFL is the toughest. I don't know the exact stat, but 9 times out of 10, half the teams that make the playoffs the next year did not make it the year before. Like, look at this year: the Bears, the Niners, the Seahawks, the Jaguars, the Patriots. None of those teams made it last year. And they're all in the playoffs, all in high seeding situations. And I think it just speaks volumes of Carolina. It just speaks volumes of the league and the parity that there is. And, it really only takes one offseason to really turn a ship around for a year, but it's that consistency that you look for. And, if you look at the teams that have been consistent over the last decade, it's the coach, it's the quarterback. And I think they have the coach, or I know they have the coach. I know they have the quarterback. That's how you maintain success. So I'm hoping it's a building block season, but I mean, you're here now. Like, you're 4 games away from it all. You've won 4 in a row twice this year, or actually 5 in a row once. Go do it a third time.
Yeah, with the Blue Jays, because I think of baseball, it's like you really do gotta strike while the iron is hot, and like, obviously, I think it'd be devastating to lose any championship game or championship series. But I think with how the kind of money they're spending right now, I think they're going to be able to keep the window open longer than maybe some other teams that have won in the past. But anyways, enough about our side chicks, that our other favorite teams that had great years. Let's move on to the Blackhawks, who, like we said, They are 3-0 in 2026. They do have a perfect record. They've been 4-1-1 since Christmas. What have been your thoughts on the team since Bedard and Nazar have gone down? Honestly, for me, it's like I don't have any expectations at this point. You got your two best players out. Let the young guys play. Let Oliver Moyer get some chances. Let Nick Lars get chances. Give Artem Levshunov all the minutes. And it seems like they've been doing that so far.
Yeah, it seems like the team wants to play for each other again. And they don't seem like they're stuck in their way. And, let's be honest, there were a half dozen efforts, including the one in Pittsburgh, which is their one regulation loss, where they just didn't show up and they got punched in the mouth. And you didn't really see that the first 20 games of the year. And obviously it's a lot of games in like a month and a half, actually two and a half months, if you count January. But, I think the team is like, it's a very streaky scoring group outside of Bedard and Bertuzzi at this point, because
we'll
talk about him later, but he's just been dynamite. As soon as people think that he's on the block, which was never reported.
People wanted him bought out this summer. That is crazy to me. Why was that ever?
I never understood that even in the offseason.
Yeah.
But Burakovsky's starting to heat up a little bit. Donato's starting to heat up. Mikheyev is a streaky scorer. I think he's got 4 in his last 5. That helps. And there's trust in the kids more. I think Moore and Lardis each got chances in the Washington game in the shootout. In the first 3 chances, they were out there to start overtime.
In the shootout,
as he should. He beat Igor Shesterkin on a breakaway. But they're fighting, and the goalies look great. I think Soderblom and Knight have looked very well coming out of the break, and they won a back-to-back. Is that the first time they won back on a back-to-back this year? Yeah. Huge. And it was against Vegas, no less. And, Vegas, I think that's a whole other conversation. They looked nothing like they should. Like, it's bad when I'm watching the game and I, just can't see Marner or Eichel on the ice, because it's just that's not where the chances are coming from. But that's a whole other discussion. They've beaten Dallas twice, which I think is hysterical, because I feel like the last couple of years that they've been pretty evenly matched in most of their games. But, I mean, that probably speaks more to Dallas than to Chicago. They beat Washington. They were neck and neck with the Isle. Lost in the shootout. Like, they're playing very good hockey right now, and we're in that weird limbo part of the year. They're 5 points out of last, but 2 points out of a wild card. Like,
I mean,
it's still 4th worst in the league.
Yeah,
like it just there still needs to be another 15 games or so to be played out. But I'm still a firm believer this team's gonna get 30, 35 wins this year, especially when Bedard gets back. He's gonna play with a fucking vengeance, and we're going to get into it, but from the sounds of it, he probably will be back this weekend on the back-to-back, if I had to guess. So a lot of things are turning, and, the prospects are doing well. And at the end of the day, even if you get all that and the season still doesn't go your way, you probably have a top 10, top 5 pick waiting for you. And you and I were texting about it earlier. Top 4 looks really, really solid right now. So it's a good spot. Let's just not go on another miserable streak like they did for a month. If we could avoid that for the rest of the fucking year, I'd really appreciate it. I think your goaltending would too.
They're 4-5-1 in their last 10. If they can play to that pace, I think they'll be fine. It's hit 30 wins, man. They're on pace to do it. Just hit 30 wins. Again, this team has been so horrible. 23 wins in 23-24, 25 wins last year. Like, if that's the minimum 30 wins, you've increased your win total by 5 wins. Like, again, we're not asking for much, but it's certainly doable, especially if Bedard and Nazar come back before being before the Olympic break. And like you said, I think after the game tomorrow against St. Louis, sounds like they're taking it day by day. So I would say, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, obviously, but I would say maximum 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah, and it's nice to know that it wasn't too big of an injury from the sounds of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's probably back within a month if we really want to play loosely with it. But they're holding their ground. I think when Bedard got hurt last time, they had 4 wins total when he was out. I think he was out 16 games.
That was dreadful. You should. Oh man, I saw a lineup from those games with Bedard. Like, you think it's bad now? It was really bad. They've gotten
a tad bit more depth over the years, but
Like we had
You know,
first line Rem Pitlick and Reese Johnson. I'm pretty sure it was probably something like that. Oh
yeah,
man.
definitely a rough go. Definitely a rough go to say the least. But hey, the light's at the end of the tunnel. I don't know when Nazar's coming back. ESPN's fantasy thing says like after Valentine's Day, so I really hope it's not that long. But I think that's after the
Yeah.
Olympics, so like I guess that checks out.
I think that's
But
during the Olympics.
there you go. So like when he comes back to the brigade, there's no need to rush him. Like this is like here's the craziest thing, like with all the ups and downs this season's had, at the halfway point, they have 9 more points than they did at this point last year. So they're on pace to basically have a 20-point jump. And that's with all the ups and downs. That's with your star player getting hurt. There's definitely positives to take away from this season, starting in net, starting with your star player. And, we're starting to see growth from a lot of players, starting to see a lot of growth from Levshunov. I'm seeing growth from Moore. They're playing him at center. That should tell you how much growth there is. I know I've texted you about it. I really like Ryan Green as a bottom 6 center on this team. I think he's going to have a real role. The coach trusts him. And if he could bury a puck, he'd have like 8 goals this year. It's got stone hands. I don't know.
You can say that for a lot of players, especially like Ryan Green needs to bury his chances. Artem Levshunov needs to stop hitting the damn post. He should have at least 5 goals right now.
I know. He's hit the post so much. And he's playing very well, and he's playing with confidence, and you could tell with the way he's skating with the puck. Krebia, I think, looked very well. Vlasic always looks solid. He's super consistent. The back end's, doing what you'd want them to do. Kaiser's had his ups and downs, but that's expected. And all of them have. It's young players, but it's nice to see them string together a good set of games here. The team really needed it because, if they don't string that set of wins together, you're really sitting at the bottom for. Now it's like you're in this clusterfuck of like 10 teams that all have the same record, which one of them leads a division, which I think just cracks me up. Dude, the loser point. That is so pointless. Vegas, oh God. We'll get into that later, but
I just saw that leading in the division with 12 overtime losses.
Including one to the Blackhawks. And then they won one in overtime to the Blackhawks. Bro, go look at the East standings. I'm almost positive last place would be like second in the Pacific.
Yeah, they've lost more overtime games than they have in regulation. 17, 11, and 12 is a crazy record. And you wonder how people can't get in the sport. How do you explain to someone, how do you read those numbers to someone and get
it's crazy
to understand it? It's
we need to talk about Vegas in general. I feel like they're having a weird season, and obviously I feel like the first year you get Marner, there's going to be growing pains, but come on, man, 12 overtime losses with that group of forwards, you can't win a fucking shootout, really? I don't know.
Yeah, so. Columbus Blue Jackets are last in the East. They have 43 points. 43 points would have them in where San Jose is right now, right outside of the last wildcard spot in the West. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The West is terrible. And, the Hawks can sit in that mid and they'll be 8th or 10th in the conference. They just keep up their pace, which I think is hysterical. But
yeah, they're kind of where I thought. I was just gonna say their Blackhawks are. There are where I kind of thought they were. Like you said, with all the ups and downs, and we're just one game over the halfway mark, which is crazy that we're already halfway through, but we still have 40 games to go.
I feel like I blinked and went from game 30 to 40.
Yeah, and 17, 18, and 7 feels appropriate. There are 3 teams worse than them, and they're all in the same conference. It's Calgary, Vancouver, and Winnipeg, who I want to talk about later. But where do you want to take this conversation? Do we want to talk about the team a bit more? Do we want to go from the prospects end of things, or how do we want to go about this?
I think we're at a good spot with the team. I really like Lardis's game. Clearly, coach has trusted him. He's
good in the shootout now.
Yeah. That shot. I'd like him to start just ripping that shot from all over the place. Get a little Kubalik in you. Just put it on net. You never know in this league, especially with a shot like that. You can catch a goalie off guard every now and then. But yeah, kids look good. The veterans are finally starting to pull their weight. Bertuzzi's been on fire as he has been all year. Probably going to hit 40 goals at this rate. He's scoring without Bedard. Fucking had a hat trick to beat Vegas. That was awesome. It's been lights out. And I think the only other thing I want to say is special teams have been really good, but the power play just cracks me the fuck up. Because, like, if you watch, like, statistically, yes, they are top 10. But if you watch that power play with your eyes, you would think they're 15%, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But they once they get the puck in, they just find a way. Or if the one rare time they win that opening draw, they usually get a goal. So, yeah, if I'm Yannick, did they still have Yannick Perreault on their staff? Because, like, we got to work on that power play face off. Like, we got to work on that. You, like, I want to say at least 2/3 of the time they're chasing the first 30 seconds on the power play. We can't have that. But penalty kill has been rock solid. I think they're like 4th in the league. So,
I think they're 3rd.
Yeah.
So power play, I just have to laugh. LOL. Edmonton's at 3.6, and then there's like a 4% difference between them and Pittsburgh at 2nd. Blackhawks are 11th with 21.2, so that's solid. And then the penalty kill is 3rd at 83.8. That's very good.
And I remember we talked about it, like switching coaching staffs, how the special teams would react to that. Because normally when you see like a giant coaching shift, one of the special teams takes a hit, but they kept pretty much where they've been last year, and the penalty kill's gotten way better. And I remember being at game 1 in Florida and noticing it. I was like, okay, they're playing way more speed. They don't give these people time to set up. They kind of play
Very
like so, like
yeah.
play like how you do in a video game. You just bum rush the puck carrier and let him make a decision. And credit to them, it's working. I mean, Dallas, I think, is a perfect example. They kind of neutered that power play a couple times in those last couple games, and that's credit to the penalty kill. And the kids are getting involved in the penalty kill. I know he's hurt, but Nazar was a huge part of that before he got hurt. Green's been a huge part. Donato, Teravainen, Foligno, obviously, now that he's back. Shootout legend Nick Foligno.
Shout out to him, his first shootout goal in his NHL career. Oh, because he was jokingly saying, "Oh, put me in the shootout." Just kidding, unless
JK, unless JK. But also, round 7, and we didn't put Teravainen in. What the? Okay, but
that's a choice. Interesting.
Neither here nor there. Kind of have to wonder what's going on there, but I really like that line of Teravainen, Moore, and Lardis. I feel like that line's got a good amount of chemistry, and once Bedard gets back, I'd leave that line the way it is.
Dude, like, that's what I mean. That line of Teravainen, Moore, and Lardis is so good together. You got Bertuzzi. It doesn't matter who you put him with now. He is just his own. Like, he leads the team in stuff per 60. Like, he's just always in there. He's dragging the team into the fight, which is what this team has needed because it was Bedard doing all of it before he got down, and now Bertuzzi has just taken over, and it feels like for the first time, and Kyle Davidson has been GM, they have an elite winger, borderline elite winger, at least a winger who's putting up elite results. And like, I don't know if if we're gonna have discussions in the future on whether maybe Tyler Bertuzzi could be a dark horse trade piece, but the first time, again, as Kyle Davidson as GM, you have an elite winger. If you were trading him, you need to get you need to have a Seth Jones trade. You need to get a young piece back. Otherwise, I have no interest in trading Bertuzzi, even if it's like Brandon Hagel-esque, where you get 2 first-round picks and 2 bums, whatever. But anyways,
you got him for 2 more years. Like, this is not something you even have to think about unless they throw something at you. And I'm sorry, the Hagel deal is not going to cut it. 2 firsts is not going to cut it for me anymore. I want roster players.
Yeah,
so, I don't need a 2030 first round pick. Like, that actually will make me go insane. And I think Kyle Davidson knows that. He's made that clear in the last, year or so. And I feel like the Spencer Knight trade was clearly the point of that. But you don't trade that guy. You don't trade that guy. That guy can play in your top 9 while the kids get good. And, in this time next year, Burakovsky's going to be up, Teravainen's going to be up, Bertuzzi's still going to be around, and you got a guy like Nestor still coming up in the system. You got a guy like Boisvert coming up in the system. Like, those are guys you probably want Bertuzzi hanging around and teach him how to tip pucks and whatnot. I mean, hell, Kancherov.
Let's say Frondell too, and Kancherov, all of them. Yeah, like
exactly. Like around. And he's got chemistry with both your centers that you have locked up long term. That's usually a good sign. He's got great chemistry with Nazar, and he's got really good chemistry with Bedard, obviously, and. That's a power play threat. He's got the most road goals in the league. He's got the most goals in the tight area. Like, he's JVR on fucking steroids right now. That's really what he's doing. Like, first 40 goal scorer since the brink, potentially. That's a real thing. And Bedard still might hit 40 at this fucking rate if he comes back and keeps up. Would have hit 40. But,
He like if he really goes off, like if he comes back after the St. Louis game, it's not out of the realm of possibility. He could hit 40 goals, 100 points.
Dude, if he hits 100 points in 65 games, conversations will need to be had. That's all I'm gonna say. Conversations will need to be had.
I think
also he got the pity call from Canada. Oh, you're on our reserve list, but we'll bring Sam Bennett before you probably.
Okay.
Clowns.
We're going to be talking a lot about international hockey because I don't know how much. Do you want to talk about what were your thoughts on the World Juniors? I kind of
the first year I couldn't catch much because I didn't have cable. So it's it's really hard to catch the games. I only caught streams.
The highlights. Mm-hmm.
Hawks guys for me, good,
yeah. At this point, I don't care about Canada. If I'm being honest, like to me, I'm just more so keeping up with the Blackhawks prospects, and they did well this tournament, especially when the gold medal game was Anton Frundell versus Vaclav Nastrasel, and he told them and Sweden won their first gold medal since 2012, which is crazy. First gold medal won by a country that's not Canada, US, or Finland. Czechia, I don't think has won one since 2001, so unfortunately they have a 25-year drought, but that's a team that has been very good for the last few years, and they're a force to be reckoned with. And two, they have Canada's number right now. They lost to them in the 2023 gold medal game, and it's 3 years in a row that they've lost to them. And I think in the semifinals or in the qualifying round, all 1-goal games, all lost. I think in the last minute and a half, devastating. But I think all in all, it's cool now because World Junior Hockey, it's so much more balanced, and that's without Russia. Like Czechia isn't a pushover. A team like Latvia isn't a pushover anymore. Canada, they've given Canada issues as well. And I mean, obviously Finland's always in there. I wish we could see Russia in there as well. And like teams like Denmark, like it's so much more parity than there once was, where it was mainly just Canada and like obviously the US and Finland got in there. But no, it was awesome seeing the Blackhawks prospects in there. Frundell was really good. I think he had 5 goals, 3 assists, 8 points, 7 games. I think Nastrasel had 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points, 7 games, and Spalletti on the States, I think, had a goal and 3 assists in 5 games he played for them. But I think they did like measurements of speed. He was very fast, so Kyle Davidson loves that. That's their MO at this point.
Oh yeah, big time. And they're both performing phenomenal. And it's always nice when you like a prospect you've been rooting for and you've been wanting your team to draft is actually developing pretty well. And I can say that for both Frundell and Nestor. So I was firmly in those camps for a while. Frundell for over 2 years. And he looks phenomenal. And I really just want him to get out of Sweden so we can actually control his ice time at this point, because I'm really getting sick of seeing this kid get scratched when this is what he does when he gets on the ice.
In the tournament, they were like his ice was kind of up and down. At least in the round robin, I think. I don't know. I don't know. Like
they benched him for like half a period, even though he had both their point. Like whatever. Yeah. We can't control the ice time until we can. So he'll be on the team by the end of the year, and if not, he's there in camp next year. There's not a doubt in my mind. You got to get him over here. But and then Nestor still, I don't rush him. Like, let him dominate college. Maybe let him hit the portal and go to like BU next year or Michigan State or one of those schools. But he's tearing it up at UMass. I mean, he's leading off freshmen in points. That's not nothing. And I mean, have a 6'6" guy with that much skill in your prospect pool. That's always nice. It's always nice.
It's tantalizing, yeah.
And Frundell looks like a horse. There we go.
They finally got some size and like they've had skill in their pipeline, but now you have size to go alongside of that. Like Bedard, yeah, he's 5'10", but he plays like a bull, and Nazar is not easier to play. But yeah, you're gonna have to get some guys that are like 6'2" and above in there as well. You can't have all 5'10", 5'11" guys.
Yeah, no, you got to get some beef in there. Beef. Even the Lightning, like all the stuff they had, you're still like. They still got some beef in their lineup, and they won those cups. That's why they traded for Blake Coleman. That's why they traded for Barclay Goodrow. So be nice to home grow those, and those are a couple of good swings, and it's nice to have that much skill too. And that's not even mentioning a guy like Mason West, who, sky could be the limit with a kid like that once he starts going to school and whatnot to play hockey. So there's a lot of good stuff in the pipeline, but always goes back to the point that I mentioned where you got to start spending. So I really am just hoping that they get hot, or Davidson gets hot at the draft, because we're going to need – you can't start 30 forwards. So some of them are going to have to go. Same with the defenseman.
Have we even brought up Kanserov yet, who might
Nope.
win an MVP in Russia as the
Guy's
most
got a glued spot in the top 6 this year. Or next year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like in 2026, some point, Kanserov and Frundell, they're going to at least get the chance to be in the top 6 and play with Bedard and Nazar, and with Kanserov, he's not going to be here till next season. Metalurg Magnitogorsk, I think, is the best team in the KHL, and he's leading the charge for that. Again, I can't state that enough. He is their number 1 center. He has an A. He is a 21-year-old. He leads the KHL goals. I think he's second in points. I think for a brief while he was tied for first. He's right up there. Might win an MVP. Could lead them to a Gagarin Cup again, because I think they won a couple of years ago. Yeah, let him finish off the year in Russia. And he did another interview, and one of the quotes that stuck out to me, he was kind of talking about what it's been playing at center and all that stuff, and what players he models his games after, what he watches, and he talked a bit about Bedard. But one of the things that stuck out to me the most was are you coming to Chicago after the year? And he's like, I like how Chicago has handled everything, but athletes are super sick. Like he said, like, I don't want to jinx anything, but I think that's just his way, like a hockey player's way of saying, I'm coming over here after the year. You don't have to worry. And I don't think there's been any Russian player as of recent memory that has just not gone to the NHL. They all want to go to the KHL and perform, or to the NHL and perform from the KHL.
Yeah, and that's a guy who's going to earn his role. There's not a chance in my mind. There's not a doubt in my mind. It's not someone that's like, there's been times in the past with Hawks prospects where it's like, it's got to work. We got to put him here, and if it doesn't work, then we're really going to be in trouble. And Kanserov's in a spot where, he's going to have probably the best shot of the bunch to make the team out of camp. You'd have to imagine, but even if he doesn't, there's no rush. And, I would personally like this, but if he really does want to stay in Russia, I don't think the Hawks would be as opposed to that. But also, I think they want him in North America next year.
Yeah.
Regardless.
I think he wants to be in North America as well. I think he'll be here. I'd be surprised if he wasn't.
And, I mean, he's got to look at the jump guys like Demidov. Like, he doesn't have the skating that Demidov has, but, there has been people to jump from the KHL under 21 now and make an impact. Mishkov has had – I think that's a little self-induced and a little talkatism going on in Philly with Michkov, but he had 66 points last year, or 63 points, I think.
It was over 60. It was a lot.
Exactly.
As a young
and he was in the KHL the year before, and they wasn't performing at the rate that Kanserov was, that's for sure. And I just think the versatility of a player like that, now showing that he can play center and wing, gives you more options in this lineup, gives you more options in the dot when you get critical faceoffs. It's like I just salivate wondering how they're going to put this power play together in a year. Like you got Bedard,
Frundell, Draisaitl spot.
Got Bertuzzi in the net front. You got, your second unit's going to have Lardis and Moore teeing things up, and potentially Nazar on the second unit. You're going to have Bertuzzi still as a great power play option. Like it's going to be a tantalizing power play. And it already is, but there's a real shot this power play is over 25% in a year, just with the amount of talent on there. If everything goes the way it should, but dude, if your second power play is Lardis and Kanserov and Moore and Nazar, that's disgusting. I don't know what else to tell you. And I just think he's got such. You can put him with Nazar, you can put him with Bedard, you can make him third line center. You can do whatever you want with a player like that. It's going to be so tantalizing come camp to see what Blashill does.
Yeah, there's never guarantees about the future, but I think for one thing, I think we can pencil in they're going to have a pretty damn good power play in the future in the next few years.
100%.
So I do want to read this from the article with Roman Kanserov, the interview he did. Kanserov speaks cautiously about his future contract with Chicago. His current deal with Metalurg expires on June 1st, 2026. To be fair, Chicago has handled this well. They don't put pressure on me. After the draft, there was more communication. They tried to convince me to sign, but at that time, I decided to stay in Russia. Now they don't push me, and I'm happy about that. I get ice time here, and there's no pressure. A decision will have to be made at the end of the season, maybe a bit earlier, but I don't want to predict anything. It's a bad omen. Athletes have their own superstition, so I was kind of paragraphing that last half. And just look at, you brought up Michkov and Demidov, how they came over as 2021-year-olds, and that's how old Kanserov is. I think of guys like Panarin and Kaprizov who come over. They did come over when they were older, but Kaprizov has made so much money and will make even more money with his new contract kicking in. Artemi Panarin has made so much money, and Russians like coming to Chicago. So, like, usually when they show them in the NHL, like, they're going to Florida, they're going to Chicago, they're going to New York. They like going to the big markets. So I don't know. I don't think there is any doubt that Roman Kanserov will be here, but if there is any like fear that he might not sign with the Hawks, I don't think that should be a thing. He's gonna be here. I think he'll be here next year. I'd be shocked if he wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's those three spots you mentioned. They got big Russian network, big Russian communities. In those three areas. I know living in South Florida, just how many different areas there are with predominantly Russian people, but people from that area of the world. But you want to be somewhere you're comfortable, and I think Chicago could be very comfortable for a player like Kanserov if he gets his feeding in a city like this, playing with some of the talent that he would have the potential to play with. It's exciting to think about, and part of me wants to just see Bedard back so we can watch the rest of the season, but there's also part of me that kind of just wants to get to camp next year and see really what kind of toys Blashill gets to play with when he's making these lines in training camp next year, because it can get really interesting, scrimmages and whatnot.
Yeah, it's like we're always going to go through the ups and downs of the Rebo. Well, mostly downs, but there might be podcasts where we're more pessimistic and I hate Kyle Davidson, he doesn't do anything. But then there's podcasts like this where we're like, okay, I see the vision of Kyle Davidson, and like whenever we think of rebuilds, we think through it like an NHL 26 GM mode where, I can just simulate it. This is gonna be quick. I'm gonna trade all my veterans for first round picks, and then I'm gonna turn those first round picks into like high elite, high franchise, or if you're playing NHL 13, 5-star potential, green star potential. But it doesn't work like that. We have to go ride the waves of these 82 game seasons where they're going to lose probably 50 games, including overtime. And but right now with how well they've been playing at all the promise in their prospect pipeline, it's hard not to be a little more positive than maybe we usually are. Do you have any more notes on the Hawks? We can move on to some move on to the Olympic rosters. Maybe probably talk more about the snubs more than the actual rosters. So, where do you want to start? Do we want to start with Canada? Because I can talk. Do you want to talk about the States?
Fire away with Canada. I want to hear it.
So, strike one, Connor Bedard didn't accept an invite to the 2024 World Championship. Oh, what was I going to say for strike two? I don't remember. I had like a whole thing. So strike one. Oh yeah, strike two. The general manager for Team Canada is in the division and not on your team. Strike three. Oh, Connor Bedard is injured, and Connor Bedard struck out on 3 pitches outside the zone. That is literally what happened with Connor Bedard. Just so we've said this. So disrespected Connor Bedard is. Like, they marketed the shit out of him in the first 3 months he was here in the NHL, and then as soon as he got injured the first time, I don't want to play with you anymore. And then the next year, down year, still had 67 points, and then this year finally takes off to what we all thought he can be, and of course he gets injured. And it just feels like there's such a lack of respect from fans. I almost feel it sometimes from the front office that they haven't given him any help, and it seems like maybe at least in front offices across the NHL, there's a lack of respect there. And one thing I don't forget, I'm not going to forget this, is people like the whole Corey Perry thing was going on. And people were saying is, oh, he slept with Connor Bedard's mom. Like, I don't forget that kind of shit. The amount of disrespect for Connor Bedard has been crazy, whether that is the fans, people that work in the sport, people that are in the front office of the Blackhawks. And now you aren't going to take a guy to the Olympics because he quote unquote doesn't play defense. And as much as I like Macklin Celebrity, I think that spot is very well deserved. I don't think I think it's kind of a misnomer that Macklin Celebrity is this Selke caliber guy. Like, he maybe plays with more, it appears he plays more effort with Connor Bedard. Maybe he's a bit more tenacious, I guess. I don't know. I think both Celebrini and Bedard are incredible players. They both should be on the Olympic team. But yeah, it's just confounding to me that Connor Bedard is on the team. But also at the same time, thank you, Doug Armstrong, because the minute that Connor Bedard come back, he is going to tear up the NHL, and you're lucky that he is not playing tomorrow night because he would get a hat trick and destroy Jordan Binnington, which, by the way, as much we can talk about Bedard, I'm still more upset about the decisions they made on the back end with their defense and goaltending. Like, forwards, there's so many great forwards. I don't know if I can get too mad over it, but at the Four Nations tournament, that defense was so clearly overmatched especially against the States. Like, we're seriously going to bring Travis Sanheim, Colton Parayko, and the corpse of Drew Doughty to the Olympics. And not that Doughty is bad, but I think there's just so many other better options. And then you're going to put Jordan Binnington in because he had one good, 5 minutes last year in the Four Nations, and because he was your starting goalie when he won a Stanley Cup 7 years ago, almost at this point. The sad thing about it is there's so much good with Team Canada. Like, there's so many talented players. You could put together a whole B team, but just some of the decisions they made on the back end, I think, could potentially lose them the tournament, especially when it's a one and done.
Yeah, it's really so. I just think it's funny with Canada that they didn't bring Logan Thompson last time because we can't have him and Adin Hill in the same locker room.
No,
Adin Hill's bad, so they don't bring him this time. They bring the goalie that they should have brought last time. But there's just this team in Denver, Colorado that has 3 regulation losses, and both those goalies happen to have your nationality, and I just find it mind-boggling not one of them got an invite.
Even crazier, what division do they play in?
Exactly. Frankly, it's ridiculous, if I'm being honest, if I was Canada. I was also going to mention, I really don't like the fact that they had the name, and this goes for all countries. I don't think you should have had the name in the first 6 players on your team, because I think if they don't do that, Braden Point's not on this team.
Yeah, probably not.
And but didn't even get into the other part. John Cooper's got his bias too. All his guys made it. All of them. Even if they didn't deserve it. I think that speaks volumes. It's all politics. And the same goes for the United States. I'll get into that in a little bit. But
which one is worse, Canada or the States? Because it feels like they're trying to one-up each other with bad decisions. I
don't know. Maybe I'm biased, but the 2 big mistakes, the U.S. made 2 mistakes that are definitely going to cost them this tournament, in my opinion. And I think on top of that, it is going to burn a bridge later on. Canada, you're just going to put a 20-year-old with a chip on his shoulder. And then we're going to learn that Binnington's actually ass now. And, Canada might have to pay the price for that. But maybe they're smart and they just put Logan Thompson in and we don't even have to worry about this.
I mean, here's what I think they're going to do and what they should do. I think they're going to start Binnington game 1. If he shits the bed, then you go to Thompson, or they'll probably go to Thompson.
Yeah, but does he get the first start out of the round robin too?
Yeah, round robin.
Okay. I think that's right. Okay, I thought you meant the first of this. Okay, no, I agree with that.
Not,
that's true.
Oh, not the championship games, the semi. Yeah, no. I think they'll.
You gotta figure this out before you get in the quarterfinal. That's.
Oh yeah.
That's just the reality. Honestly, you gotta figure it out before the group stage, but that's a whole other thing. Yeah. Besides that, there's a couple things I still like in Canada, like the fact that they actually brought Nick Suzuki. I thought was smart of them, because I thought they were going to bring him at one point, frankly. Tom Wilson, he's on pace for 40 goals this year. Like it's definitely warranted. And I kind of like that they brought one or the other. They didn't bring both, which is what I thought they were going to do. But I mean, there's just some guys in this team that I don't like. You can't look at me with a straight face and say Mitch Marner's in a spot over Connor Bedard. You just can't. I don't care if Marner assisted on the fucking golden goal or whatever. It's not the golden goal, but the Four Nations goal.
I know what you mean.
These teams are lying through their fucking teeth if that Four Nations face-off didn't change their opinions on what they wanted to do. It is directly affecting what Canada and USA are doing. And frankly, what Sweden's doing too, because we'll get into them as well. I think Sweden's made some major mistakes. But, what else is there to say? Canada's going to get away with it, high-end talent above all, and you're catching Marchand and Crosby on demon years, and you're catching McKinnon on a demon year, and Makar on a demon year. They're going to be fine. That's why I feel like USA, it matters more, because the USA has not won gold since, 1980? And they're trying to build the team like it's 1980 still. That's where I get mad.
Here's what my reading of that.
Canada, I think, is playing with their food. That's the last thing I'm going to say. I just think Canada's playing with their food. That's all it is.
Okay, so to wrap up with Canada, I also think them not bringing Matthew Schaefer is a mistake, because just seeing how he's been playing. I mean, how do you not bring him? To me,
Sanheim should stay home.
I want Bedard to be on the team, no doubt, but it's just so hard to mess up the forwards, because you have Connor McDavid, you have Nathan McKinnon, and then you got, like you said, a veteran Marchand and Crosby who are still demons, and you got Macklin, Celebrini, and even if they're having down years, Braden Point and Mitch Marner afterthoughts, I still think they can play big roles. It's hard to me to get mad at the forwards, but the defense and goaltending, absolutely. I think they sure brought Schaefer, and as divisive as Evan Bouchard could be, I would rather have him over Colton Parayko. Sanheim, Parayko, Doughty, sure, he could be there as the 8th defenseman, as the cheerleader, sure, but you could have brought in a whole different pairing that could have been a lot more effective for you. But anyways, here's what I think about the States. This is my one thought. You want to know why they call it the Miracle on Ice? Because it was a 1 in a million chance that these college boys were going to be the powerhouse Soviet Union. You're trying to build it like you're in 1980 and you only got college players. To me, the States have the deepest amount of talent in the world for hockey right now. And again, that's why I think Canada, it doesn't matter, because you have that high-end talent, but the States, you have such a depth, whether that's goaltending, defense, and forward, and you mess that up. It's still crazy to me they didn't bring Tage Thompson last year. It's crazy to me that Jason Robertson wasn't on the team last year. And at the end of the day, it's politics, and it might just be further than politics. It might just be flat out racism. Honestly, what other excuse is there to not bring Jason Robertson to the Olympics?
Yeah, I guess that's a good place to start. Here's where I get so confused with this regime, and Bill Guerin's lying through his teeth. He's a fucking clown, and this is the reason. I'm glad the rest of the world is starting to realize why the Minnesota Wild haven't amounted to fuck all in the last 8 years, because of this dumbass that's running the team. But no, he'll get credit because he traded for Quinn Hughes, but they'll lose in round 1 to Colorado. It's just Bill Guerin can fucking suck my dick. Honest to God. Just the worst. But Jason, the whole thing U.S. is trying to push right now, we want to play crash and bang hockey. We want to play heavy. We want to play hard. Newsflash, asshole. Jason Robertson's 6'3" and 220 pounds. He does not get knocked off the puck. He's a fucking horse. And he would lead the team in goals. But no, we have to bring – here's where I really get bogged. Here's where my mind just gets boggled completely. Mike Sullivan's the coach of this team. Chris Drury is the assistant GM on this team. Pretty sure David Quinn's on this team too.
Yeah, he's the assistant coach.
They vouch for Miller and Trocheck because they're vibes guys. Keep in mind, it's the same JT Miller's been traded 5 times now.
They're glue guys, which means they're great players.
Glue guys at the Olympics. Are you fucking kidding me? Newsflash, a good player can be a good guy. It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
That's the title of the podcast.
But that's not even the craziest part. This is what I was alluding to earlier. You have all these Ranger guys in the team, and you vouch for those guys over Adam Fox.
bring the
This
worst
does not
ones,
end
you
with
don't bring
Adam
the
Fox
good
getting
ones.
traded this offseason. I'm so serious. How does this not end with him getting traded? That bridge is fucking burnt in New York. And they just put him on LTIR just for shits and giggles to ensure that he doesn't go to the Olympics. There's an injury. Bro, I'm so serious. I'd put money on it in Vegas right now. Adam Fox is traded this offseason. How do you have a relationship with that GM and that coach ever again? Like, you are their whole back end for what, 8 years now? How long has Fox been in the league? Like 2018? It's been a while.
Yeah, like,
And he's
he
been
played
rock
before
solid
COVID.
number one defenseman on that team, and he made one fucking mistake in one game. That's a fucking, it doesn't mean shit. It's a tournament for fun at the end of the day. It's not like the Olympics. And you're going to leave him off the team entirely, for one. Two, you're all the shit coming out right now of like them being like, well, we'd really try to get Fox on the team. Bullshit. You fucking vouch for a guy who has 17 points.
No, I don't think.
Like, I don't even want to hear it. And don't even get me started on Brock Faber. He shouldn't even be sniffing this team. I'm not even mad about Seth Jones being on the team. I think Seth Jones has actually earned this spot over the last 4 years.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I think Adam Fox has every right in his mind to request a trade. And I think he should. Because your GM doesn't have faith in you. Your coach doesn't have faith in you. I want that to stick with him. Because it would stick with me. It'd stick with me if these guys that paid me $60 million to be their number one defenseman don't even fucking believe in me for me to be the number 6 defenseman on the United States of America when he is clear-cut top 4. Bro, it's absolutely mind-boggling. It's fucking mind-boggling. And, like, there's reasons to be excited about this team. Yes, Tage Thompson's making the team. You know, Quinn Hughes and Charlie McAvoy weren't on the team last year because McAvoy got hurt and Hughes wasn't there at all. So, like, that impact's going to be huge. You know, still got good goaltending. And Matthews is starting to turn it up, which is awesome to see because, like, God, they need him.
Like you said, that play of the overtime game, I think Matthews needs to be given more shit for that goal. Sorry.
No, and everyone words it as Fox fucks up first, so Matthews has to fuck up. Yeah. It's a group fuck up. If Matthews doesn't lose the fucking draw, this doesn't happen. Like, it's a whole other thing. But
yeah.
It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter because I just think for the Rangers, you just burnt more bridges. That locker room couldn't possibly get more toxic, and they just did. Like, Nairn's up this year. You just burnt the bridge with your number one defenseman. And I'm sorry, there's not another defenseman that can even sniff the talent that Fox has. Gavelkov's good, but it's apples to fucking I don't even know. It's not even worth it. It's like you're trying to
shit.
Exactly. I can't believe it. Like, if I was a Rangers fan, I'd be dumbfounded right now. Like, how does this team operate after the Olympics? Like, they're already toxic. They have been shut out 8 times this year. Like, and this has been going on for multiple years. Like, the Florida Panthers have credit for breaking a lot of teams in this run of them getting back-to-back cups. I think the Rangers are at the top of that fucking list. Honestly. The Rangers lost to them in the cup or the conference final, and they have blown that fucking team up since. And at this point, it's going to be scorched earth. They want to trade Lafreniere. Panarin's definitely not re-signing, if I had to guess. And
no,
like I said,
he might get traded.
If I was betting man, Adam Fox is not a New York Ranger this time next year. I just do not believe it. And the worst part for the Rangers is you fuck this up even more because I'm almost positive Adam Fox is no move. So he's going to fully control where he wants to go with this one.
Let me look that up right now with our
You're not getting shit for him. At least the Canucks were smart and traded Hughes when he had no fucking protection. Like, there's a reason I was listening to it. There's a reason the Devils didn't trade for Quinn Hughes. Duncan Hamilton didn't want to waive his no move. Andre Palat didn't want to waive his no move. And now you're shit out of luck. And I'm sorry, like, you guys forced Trouba on waivers to get him out of town. I will believe you'll get Fox out of town. Top to bottom, the Rangers are a shit show, and I'm just so glad it gets to affect my country's hockey team. It's just so great. It's so great. I'm so glad Mr. No Effort JT Miller will represent this country. But don't worry, guys. He'll get in a fight and get his ass kicked. So he's got morale. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, and you could do that in the double IHF.
Oh, my God.
It's just get suspended for doing that or kicked out of the tournament, which might be a good thing, honestly.
Here's the other thing. You want to talk about glue guys? You want to talk about, like, having a veteran presence and bullshit? You brought those guys over Patrick Kane, who is the last real Olympian that this team has had, can still very well bring something to the table even as an extra and be more of a veteran presence and more of a winning presence than that entire fucking locker room has outside of Jack Eichel and the Kachucks. But no. I mean, we just got to get the losers effort from JT Miller and Vincent Trocheck. Did JT Miller win a cup with the Lightning? Didn't think so. Did Vincent Trocheck ever win a Stanley Cup? No, I don't think so.
No, he was tripped though. Trocheck was tripped.
That's glue guys though. Anyways. Glue guys. Tell you one thing, I have never he's done a lot of shit off the ice, but there's not a single player who say a bad thing about Patrick Kane. So I've never heard a bad thing about him as a locker room guy. I just think it's ridiculous. I just think there's so many decisions that make no sense. And, Robertson, and I think Fox at the top of it. I think it's over. Like, I'm at the point where I think Fox is over Robertson just because of the circumstances that this arises. Like, Robertson's going to make the team in 4 years, just out of the fucking flat, like the last stack that they're getting right now. But Fox is going to affect the New York Rangers directly. And I'm very interested to see how that happens. Because,
Robertson will be fine with Dallas. Fox, that's a. Okay, so
these players don't forget these bridges will get burnt. That's just my thing.
He's got a no movement. This is interesting. So he has a no movement clause this year. It just kicked in this year. He has it next year, but then in 27, 28, 28, 29, he has modified no trade clause. So, like, if you wait it out those couple of years, you'll have a bit more. But you're just incredibly a disgruntled player. Like, he's going to request a trade, and you want to like you said, players don't forget that. Literally,
this is a guy who didn't sign anywhere else but the Rangers to the point where they had to trade him because he was not going to sign with Calgary. He was not going to sign with Carolina. He wanted to be a Ranger, and this is how you traded the guys who want to be here.
So it was a franchise icon that got pissed off that his own GM didn't add him to the Olympic team. Marty St. Louis. Funny enough, he got traded to the New York.
Went so well for them.
Mm-hmm. Like, guys don't forget this. They do not. And that was the first thing I thought of. Like, Rangers are gonna have to blow this shit up. Shesterkin is out.
You got to trade Panarin at the deadline, you think, right? Like, you got to recruit some assets.
Him.
Like, obviously, Fox. If you're going to trade Fox, you'll get something for him. But like,
you would think
you can't let Panarin walk for nothing. You can't let that happen. And your centers suck, and your captain's a loser. Looks good on you. Good boys club you got there, Dolan. Wish you were at my conference. Losers. And they're going to waste a Vezina caliber goalie. Time is what's the True Detective thing where he's got the can in his hand? He's talking about time. The Rangers are about to ruin another fucking Hall of Fame goalie. Some things just never change, man. Some things just never change. Also, they kicked Kreider out the door too. I didn't even mention that, but guy who probably should have been captain the last 3 times they announced the captain, but I didn't get over there.
They've done that with Trouba, Kreider, and Gaudreau. They've done it the 3 guys who. Okay, maybe not Gaudreau, but like from all accounts, good players and good in the locker room. And
no, but they did Gaudreau the same way they did Trouba, where it's like we're just going to put your ass on waivers and make sure you go where we need you to go.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry, you shouldn't. It's terrible. It's a terrible way to run a business. Like, if this was an NHL video game, their morale would always be at like 10%, just because you make so many boneheaded moves. Starts with the owner, though. Starts with the owner. At the end of the day, as much as I want to give all these other guys shit, but I will specifically give those 2 guys shit because you have every right to pick Fox and you pick those 2 freaking bozos over him. And who knows? Maybe Vincent Trocheck gets the game-winning goal for the gold medal. Ooh. I'll fucking eat my words, but I don't even believe you're going to medal this year if you're going to play like that. If you're going to play politics that hard, whatever. If you win gold, I'll obviously be, humming a different tune, but I kind of don't want to see this asshole get proven right. There's part of me that just doesn't want to see that. So, it wouldn't be a shame if a Germany or, a Czechia or Slovakia, they did something. That's all I'll say. And when, anyone, but,
And like we talked with the World Juniors, especially in the Olympics, there's going to be so much freaking parity. And again, when it's 1-game knockouts, maybe these teams that aren't Canada, US, Finland, Sweden, they might not win gold, but they could disrupt everything. They could win a bronze medal. They could make it to
all it takes is one goal getting hot.
Yeah.
All it takes. We've seen it time and time again in the sport. Whether it's World Juniors, whether it's World Championships, whether it's Olympics. All it takes is a hot goalie. And credit to Canada, they've had one the last 30 years. They've been in this spot, Carey Price, Marty Brodeur, it's been good. But, I don't think there's that advantage this year, especially with Hellebuck coming off injury. I don't think, and we've seen Hellebuck in the big moment. So, and Ottinger in the big moment. Swayman's won gold, though. He's got the big moment. Give it to Swayman. I'm kind of glad he's on the team. If it wasn't going to be Knight, it better have been Swayman. But ugh. Can we talk about Sweden real quick, though?
Let's do it. Yeah, absolutely.
Pontus Holberg made the team over William Eklund. What are we doing?
Hey, he's the only returnee from 2022, apparently.
Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. Bro, Mikko Lettinen's on that team, too, I'm pretty sure. Like, just all these former bummy Leafs. Finland, you know what I mean? Like, there's all these former crappy Leafs that are made it. Like, Kubalik's on, freaking
all the Hawks. Kubalik.
So many Hawks are going to be in this.
Ruda, Kempny.
The GOATs. I can't wait for Michael Kempny to have a big goal. Stanley Cup champion Michael Kempny. But
damn right.
Oh man. But I just think that's hysterical. I think them leaving Ekholm off on defense is kind of disrespectful. And the fact that Olmark's probably not even going to sniff starting, I think is a little disrespectful as well. I know the Wild have been good this year. I know those goalies have been
Wasn't
streaky.
Olmark out with family? Like, I wonder if that played a thing.
Oh, I didn't know he was out with family. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
But, regardless, I don't know. I just feel like he won a fucking Vezina trophy. Like, you can't start him. But
I would think it had to have been with that.
It has to be that, because I'm sorry, like, Wallstedt's good, but like, I guess it's what he done for me lately. I don't know. But I just think Sweden's going to be fun. They got Bratt, they got Raymond, they got Carlson. Forsberg's still there. We're finally going to see like Carlson, Dahlin, Hedman, all these horses on the back end for Sweden. Who am I missing? Is Uyghur? No, Uyghur's Canadian. Anderson. That's what I'm missing. Rasmus Anderson's going to be like third pair on that team. It's going to be gross. Really sucks for Finland. Barkov definitely would.
They're still going to be there regardless. They're going to be.
Well, no, but it's just like it sucks for Barkov. It sucks for Barkov. Like,
it would have
been his first time like legitimately representing the country, and
he was there in 2014, I think.
But like to be the captain, you know.
Yeah.
Big deal. But gonna be some teams that are sneaky. Like I say it all the time. Germany and Czechia, they're gonna win. They're gonna surprise someone. Team. Switzerland's gonna surprise someone. Like Slovakia's got a real good shot at giving someone a headache. Like there's real chances some of these teams make some noise, and Italy's gonna get thumped. Luca or Mark Del Gaizo is gonna have to lead in the victory.
They have Daniel Clara playing, I think, who was a draft pick of the Ducks. That's the only guy.
And then fucking Tessier is gonna win a game with France off a Hattie. Reichel's gonna get trade value for the Canucks by having a good Olympics because Reichel always plays good for Germany. Like,
Chris Mulhue is gonna come up. Chris Mulhue is going to come out of retirement and win it for France. And then he's going to be the first goalie or French goalie to win the cup and have a gold medal. Crazy. No, but for real, Germany, you have we got to sing his praises. Moritz Seider, best defenseman in the NHL right now.
Should win the Norris. If this season ended the day and I had a media vote, he'd be my first for Norris, 100%. And that's nothing against McCarthy. McCarthy's is nutty.
You have him on the back end. You have Leon Draisaitl, Timmy Stutz, JJ Peterka. Like, Phil Grubauer apparently has been playing very well, though he hasn't played many games. Like, again, if he gets hot, Germany could complete what they couldn't do in 2018, and that's win a gold medal with actual, like, you're going to be doing it against NHL players.
Here's the thing with Germany, too, and Czechia. That's why I keep bringing these two up. They have a game-breaking player. Like, this wouldn't be the first time David Pasternak's backpacked a team to a victory. It's not the first time Leon Draisaitl's backpacked a team to victory. Like, they're very accustomed to doing that job by themselves. So, the fact that Pasternak's going to have a running mate like a Natchez in that, and, Draisaitl's going to have a Stutzla to fucking ride shotgun with him. Like, I think they're going to uplift some of these players that we don't expect. And I firmly expect, I'll say it now, one of those teams is winning a medal. I don't know which one, but if I was betting man, I'd say one of Czechia or Germany's winning a medal this year. Because I just think one of these teams is going to get cute, could be, the U.S. just not icing the correct roster, or, Finland just might get caught on an off night, or, Canada might start joining Bennington by accident. Just anything could happen. And that's why dude, we're a month away. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. First time Olympics have mattered in over a decade. Outside of the year Kaprizov was going nutter butters. That was cool.
Yeah. I'll say this. I don't think Canada, U.S. I don't think there's going to be a Canada-U.S. gold medal game this time around.
Yeah, I could buy that. I mean, there wasn't one last time either.
Yeah, it was the semifinal.
It was Sweden, right?
Yeah.
Back when
it was Canada, Sweden.
Canada basically played dead puck era hockey because they were so fucking good. It's like 1-0. All right, wrap it up.
Like that whole tournament, I'm like, I think the only time I felt stressed out was when they were tied with Latvia, which speaks to like Krister Zalewskis could have destroyed Canada, as we know. We might have exploded if they lost in 2014. Like 2006, Martin Gerber shut them out, I think, 2-0, and then 98, Dominic Hasek stood on his skull.
Oh no, who's that guy?
Yeah, who's that?
He's not good.
No. And that's why the Hawks trade him, because he sucks.
The Hawks goaltending Hall of Fame is like actually insane.
When you had Belfour and Hasek, if you kept them, you probably won a cup before the end of the 90s.
Dude, you got them. You have Glenn Hall. You had Tony O.
They've had great goaltending.
Oh, Spencer Knight,
Crow,
Antti Niemi.
Cristobal Huet, Nikolai Habibulin, the Bulin Wall.
Dude, there's a time where I just blocked Cristobal Huet out of my memory. I just forgot he existed. I was like, oh yeah, they went from Habibulin and then Niemi. Just totally forgot about Huet.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. Mid.
Yeah, but he got a ring.
What a mid-off, him versus Chris Osgood. Ugh. Yeah, Olympics are going to be fun, though.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. Yeah.
Oh, also one last stuff for Team USA. I kind of wish Cole Caulfield made it. I just think it's so dumb because Team USA's made this. I've known this for years. We've known this since DeBrincat didn't make the World Juniors a decade ago. They just don't give a fuck if you're 5'7". It's just the reality. And they're so behind the ball. It's not even funny. If they had Connor Bedard, they'd probably sit him at home. Let's just put it that way.
I mean, we're not so different, you and I, Canada and US.
See, but you guys bring Braden Point. You know what I mean? He's 5'9". Yeah. They don't discriminate against height if you're really fucking good. And I just think the only guy they're not discriminating against is Quinn Hughes. And I guess Patrick Kane historically.
I also think they might just be fucking stupid because if they really wanted to size them, they bring Jason Robertson and they would have brought last year.
What's that quote from Garrett? It's if you think that's how we decide things, they must really think we're dumb. And it's yeah, we do think you're really dumb, actually.
Yes.
I'm glad your intuition's good on that one, buddy. We're getting somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. But yeah, I think that's enough raging about Olympic rosters.
Yeah, there's always going to be one half of me. I'm like, we could optimize this Canada roster, but also Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, Go Burr.
Yeah. Also, I don't know. I'm just very excited to see what happens. Eichel, Matthews, hopefully a healthy Jack Hughes. Quinn Hughes is going to be there. Both Kachucks hopefully are. I mean, Matthew will probably have 3 weeks under his belt playing again because he's probably back this week too. So that'll be huge. And I'm pumped that Tage is there this time. I just think Tage puts such an element to that bottom six. Fuck it, throw him there with Matthews for a shift. I want to see some crazy shit. Put those two shots on the ice at the same time. I don't care who's guarding that. You're not blocking either. You can't block both of them. So, or you can, but it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be fun though.
I don't know if Italy is in their group.
Comes on, I'll change the channel.
I don't know if Italy is in their group, but so they're just going to be that rock gif of Team Italy trying to defend
Alex Tessier looking at Nathan McKinnon and Connor McDavid coming up the ice. Nikolai is trying to stop. Oh, man.
Dude, that's another one. Denmark, man. They're going to have Frederick Anderson. There's so much talent. I wish Russia was there. Really
Switzerland gets me excited, too. I think Hischier and Fiala got something up their sleeve.
Yossi, Meyer,
Oh yeah, Murray too. Fuck, so much
Murray,
talent.
new
Might
extension.
be the most talent they've had in the Olympics in
JJ
a long
Moser.
time.
He's going to be on that team too.
JJ Moser's been the Lightning's best defenseman this year, according to Lightning fans and analytics. So I'll take their word.
Oh yeah, and one point I wanted to make while you were ranting. So, one point I just wanted to say, when you were calling Bill Guerin a loser, I'm like, the Minnesota Wild still haven't won a playoff series more recently than the Hawks have. Or Hawks have won one more recently. And I mean, you could say the same with the Kings too. But also another like a point I wanted to make about the Rangers is they have won more outdoor games in their franchise history than they have won home games all year. I saw that stat. It just made me laugh.
Once again, Rangers are such like every time I just get frustrated with the Hawks' lack of goal scoring or something. I'm just like, God, it could be so much worse. At least there's a direction here. Like at least there's a direction here. Like the Rangers, the Jets. Like we'll talk about them in a second. Like there's a lot of teams that are going to really have to look at what they're doing. I think Washington's another one where they're just not figuring it out special teams wise, and you know the East is a effing gauntlet. Like Buffalo won 10 straight. Now everyone's right next to each other in those standings. So, and we talked about it before, before the Olympic freeze, I feel like we're going to see a good amount of trades. I think these guys are going to want to get with their teams. I freaking
hope so. We saw some trades before the Four Nations last year. I think the Ranson trade happened. No, I think Jones was after.
Or was it during?
No, it was after. I think he requested right.
He requested
after,
it. That's what it was.
Right
he requested it during.
Yeah.
Right before the finals game, he did it. And I was
yes, that's what it was. Nice. That's what it was. Yeah.
Ben Pope dropped the article like an hour before. Yeah, I remember it now. And then he got traded a week later. So we just didn't believe it. Like I remember we had Powers on like 2 months before, and it was like none of us saw that coming.
I think we all thought summer was realistic.
Yeah, for us it was like wishful thinking in the summer, maybe. But it's worked out for both sides. Jones has played. I'd argue he's probably been their best defenseman this year outside of Forsling. So, it's worked out for them. Obviously, he took a puck to the collarbone, so I don't know how long he's going to be out. But that sucks.
Watch him still not take Adam Fox if he's hurt. Like they bring
shit. Never mind.
Instead, who's having a great year.
I was gonna say a really stupid thing. I was like, "When's the last time someone played in back-to-back Winter Classics?" And I was like, "Probably the Blackhawks or something." Shit.
Dominic Kubalik.
Fucking.
I don't know.
Oh my god. But yeah, hockey. Isn't it fun?
The jaw-dropping moments that make hockey hockey. Experience them all with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me state. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright NHL 2025. All rights reserved. Yeah, hockey.
Sometimes.
Let's do that hockey. Yeah.
What do you want to talk about next?
So I put two teams that are gone in the opposite direction in the last year. One team hasn't made the playoffs since 2011 when the Atlanta Thrashers were still around, and is actually within striking distance of a playoff spot after firing their GM. And the other is a team that won a President's Trophy last year and is last place in the NHL. And I believe they are winless in their last 9 because they have technically lost overtime games. So that means they haven't lost 9 in a row because we need a loser point. We need participation trophy for a league that and a sport that prides itself on macho and masculinity, throwing fists. No, we need to have a loser point and anyways. What do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about the Buffalo Sabres or the Winnipeg Jets?
I want to hit Winnipeg because I just feel like this was like never wrong, just early. Like, I feel like you and I have both talked about this ad nauseum that they've done nothing
Hold
but
the
get
fort.
older.
They're leading 1-0 against Vegas right now.
Congratulations. You can finally beat a team that Chicago's beaten. Like, about time.
Like,
But I swear I've looked at this team the last 3 years. Look at their roster on paper, and I just say, how does this team make the playoffs? And then, little behold, or lo and behold, high-end talent. Your goalie wins a Vezina 1 year. You win a President's Trophy. That's all great. It can't be like, you know what team we saw this with? 2018 Blackhawks. They have a lot of similarities, funny enough.
And Jonathan Toews.
Or the 2017 to 18 Blackhawks. Well, besides Jonathan Toews. But that was a team that they were first in the conference, and they lost at the time. I think it was 60 goals and like 115 points with Panarin and Hossa off the team.
A lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everyone, even I'll admit, I was delusional, and I was like, "Oh, they're going to make up the goals here, they're going to make up the goals there, blah 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 blah." At the end of the day, you still lost 60 goals. It's really hard to reacquire those goals in the aggregate, and it's even harder when you're betting on guys over 35. And that's exactly what they did.
You haven't played in 2 years.
Yep. And guys like Nino Niederreiter, Gus Nyquist, like they've had their moment in the sun, but they're long past that point, and you end up losing guys. They got guys like Iafallo who are pretty inconsistent, if I'm being honest. Velarde they hit on, luckily, out of the Dubois trade. But
great trade, yeah.
They only have, I saw a stat, I think Perfetti's got 8 points this year. It's terrible,
he just scored his third goal today. Right now.
This. There's no depth scoring whatsoever, and it doesn't help that your back end outside of Morrissey is not that impressive. And I feel like we've said this ad nauseum. Guys like Dylan DeMello are solid, but you can't have 5 Dylan DeMellos on your back end and expect everyone to overperform. Yet last year they did, and that's why they won a President's Trophy. But as an organization with a team like this and a team at this age cap, I'm pretty sure their average age is 30. You have to expect some regression. And it sucks because you look at guys like Scheifele and you look at guys like Connor, and they're having great years, but don't quote me on this, but isn't Scheifele 32? The clock's ticking. And Hellebuck's 28, 29, 30 or something like that.
Hellebuck's 32 as well. Josh Morrissey is 30.
Kyle Connor's 29. He signed till he's 38. They're in a really bad spot right now. And they have not hit on any of their prospects. You're in a market people don't want to sign in.
You have to draft.
And you have a GM that likes to sit on his hands. Have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun. The hole's only getting deeper if you haven't noticed. I know you see the big pile of dirt behind you, Kevin, but there's nothing to worry about. You're just last in the NHL and a division that has actively tanking hockey teams. So not a good look.
Oof,
not a good look.
Yeah.
Including a team, or you're last in a Central Division that very well has a tanking national team, a Blackhawks team that's not looking to contend, and a Utah team that can't string together 3 wins in a row. And then you got St. Louis, who's just as mid. It's not that impressive. And you're in such a weaker conference. That's why I want to talk about Buffalo later, because what Buffalo's doing is way more impressive just because of how much of a gauntlet the East is right now. And they're holding their weight. And Winnipeg can't do this in a weak West. That their Pacific team has 46 points and technically a losing record. It says a lot. And, I don't think this, Scott O'Neill won Coach of the Year last year, but these players don't respond to him, clearly. Coach doesn't fix this, though. This is up top. This is your scouting department. This is your GM. And it's going to be a long fix if this is how it continues to go. And a lot of these guys have trade protection, and a lot of them are on the wrong side of 30. And you'll still have a $5 million cap hit when Taves leads the team next year because of bonuses. So good job.
Yeah, like you said, no one wants to sign in Winnipeg. I don't think I think they have an internal cap. So even if they wanted to throw the money at players in free agency, they're not going to sign here. Yeah, it feels their last draft pick they hit on was Kyle Connor, which is a great pick, but in the years since, Cole Perfetti, maybe he figures it out. Yeah, this year he's really struggled. Had 50 points last year, but it's not like he's taken off and been like a point per game player. Yeah, and then you lose Nick Ehlers, but you thought he was going to stay last year because you brought Jonathan Taves in to be a center. Yeah, and they just simply have not done a good enough job of drafting and developing. And then when your multiple Vezina trophy winner and Hart winner from last year is injured, and you don't really have a lot around him, yeah, it's not really surprising why. Like, Mark Scheifele is great. They have a great first line. I just don't think they have any depth after that. And like you said, Niederreiter, 33, Gustav Nyquist, 36, and then you extended your captain Adam Lowry. Like, that's good, but he's 32, and you're going to be paying him till 2031. Yeah.
They sold their soul to beat the Blues. Genuinely.
Yeah. Kind of did. Neil Pionk is signed till 2031 at $7 million. Yeah, just I don't know. I think if I don't give a fuck about division. If the Winnipeg Jets are selling parts off, I would even like just to take a chance on Cole Perfetti, like, because I don't think his trade value would be that high right now. But if Gabe Vilardi is available, if they already want to get rid of Kyle Connor somehow, like, I would be all over that.
Hey, listen, they got no defensive prospects. And guess who has a bunch of defensive prospects? And guess who can help Winnipeg put some prospects in their pipeline and can take a Cole Perfetti and take a flyer on them?
Yeah.
But knowing them, they'll probably want, Tara Binding because leadership and he's over 30. So,
yeah, and
he can help you either way.
Luke
I take Perfetti in a heartbeat.
Isn't he extended too? 1-for-1.
Isn't he extended too?
Perfetti? Or
no, I know Velarde's locked up, but isn't Perfetti locked up too?
No, Perfetti is an RFA with arb rights. And again, Winnipeg Jets, I think they have an internal cap. Do they want to deal with that?
33 and Korchinski per chance.
Yeah. Now I like your thinking there.
Second round.
Put Korchinski back to the prairies because he's a prairie boy because he's born in Saskatchewan. I whenever I think of the Jets, I always think of 2018 and 2019. I think those were their chances to win, and they didn't. And especially 2019, that series against the Blues, I always go back to it. Backbreaking up. I think they were up 2-0 in Game 5. Especially that Game 5 one because they were up 2-0 with like 3 minutes left, and they lost 3-2. Like. And you lose in Vegas the year before that. They should have at least made a cup final appearance, and they had their chance. Their defense was crazy because they had Big Buff still. They had Jacob Trouba. I think Tyler Myers was still there. Like Mark Scheifele was popping up. You still had Connor Ehlers. I think Paul Stastny was their second line set. Like they had a very good team, but it seems like they haven't built on it since. And yeah, you kind of caught lightning in a bottle last year again because your goalie won the Vezina and Hart. But now you're not getting it this year, and your team is aging, and you have no depth, no defensive depth, no goal scoring, no nothing. Yeah, no nothing really. Like what is
got a Hart Trophy winner?
Yeah, you sure do.
Yeah, you just gotta get younger, gotta get faster, and it's gonna be hard.
They do have their firsts, but no seconds for the next couple of years.
Can I be honest? If they have their first, do you trust the scouting department to get that pick right? No. Like, let's say they're picking third. Who are they going to pick at third? Like, who? I don't know. Like, the last time they've had a no-brainer pick, it was Laine, and they didn't develop him properly because he didn't get along with the boys' club. Like, they need a top 5 pick. I'm not going to not say that, but I don't trust this scouting department to get the pick right. I'll tell you that much. And this isn't a problem you can fix right now. And I think that sucks if you're on pace for a top 5 pick.
Blake Wheeler was another guy. And now that jogged my memory. You know who was the coach for this team that has gone to win back-to-back cups now? Paul Maurice quit on you.
Yep. Says a
And
lot.
Rick,
Says a lot.
so did Rick Bonus. Or yeah, it was
Retired.
Rick Bonus.
Said, fuck you guys.
Mhm.
You guys are all losers. I'm leaving.
They got curb stomped by Vegas. I mean, in all fairness, every team that playoffs did too, but in particular, Winnipeg. Like, yeah. Like, I hate because we're not in the locker room, but that reeks of there's maybe a bit of culture problems there too. There was always like Line versus Wheeler because I think Line could never play with Scheifele, and it was always Wheeler who had to pay there. I think it was the same. Like Ehlers never got proper ice time. Like there's just a lot of that stuff, inner politics.
Yeah, just a big boys club.
Do any more things touch on with the Winnipeg Jets, or do we want to talk about a team that's actually good in winning games? So good that they won 10 in a row, Buffalo Sabres.
The Buffalo Sabres. Oh, man. Yeah, they've been like, I just don't even like, I'm looking at their statistics, I'm looking at their injuries that they've had, and it's been remarkable, honestly. You got to credit Lindy Ruff, I think. Like, the guy I feel like
New Jersey
has been hired
New
has been on the
Jersey
hot
from
seat.
yeah, New Jersey did 3 years ago. We're sorry, Lindy, or whatever they were chanting. That's gonna be Buffalo right now. And I thought he was on the hot seat too.
Dang. Like I'm just looking at some of this, and like here's what makes Buffalo such an enigma because like if they're healthy, they're really deep offensively. Because you look at Zucker, he's got 18 and 21 games. Norris has 13 and 14 games. Like if those guys are healthy, they're probably even better. And Josh Stone's been incredible for them.
That's been a great trade for them. I would
Kevin
say they
Adams,
won the
pretty
trade
good parting
at this
gift.
point. Yeah,
Dude.
like I was like, oh man, I thought they should have kept Paterka, and I didn't love the return. But the more and more I see that, you could cut that as a win for them right now.
McLeod's looking like a win too with the way Savoy's developed.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
Byram has a half point a game. Samuelson's finally looking like the defenseman that they gave an 8-year deal to. You know, maybe he's got the Mike Matheson trajectory. That's looking what it's looking like a little bit. But it's working out for them.
Norris has 13 points in 14 games. Just stay healthy.
I know.
For God's sakes.
It's God, if they could just stay healthy, it's crazy. And, that doesn't even include, Tuck's in the contract year. He's playing great. Thompson's back to doing what he does best. And Dahlin's missed time, and he still hasn't missed a beat. So, and the craziest part is Alex Lyon is the missing piece. Like, UPL got an extension, last year, this year? And Alex Lyon, the guy they picked up, midway through the offseason. Saving grace. Devin Levi's going to be 28 by the time he starts in goal. Just because they're never going to let him get a chance because he just every time he gets a chance he lets in 4 and they're like, well, back to Rochester you go. But oh man, Alex Lyon has saved their season. He started 21 games, 19-10 and 6, 2.82 goals against. He got where is it? Oh no, it's not showing me. Got 1 shutout. Got an assist too. How about that? And
hell yeah. Playmaking.
Colton Ellis is 4-3 as their third string, coming in relief. They're putting together team efforts every night, and it's something that we kind of alluded to with the Hawks earlier. That matters. Winning games like that radiates through the lineup, and clearly it has with Buffalo because they're playing a full team effort. This isn't just 3 stars chugging the train along. And I can confidently say this is the best stint of hockey they've played since early or late 2018 when they just got Jeff Skinner.
When they won 10 games in a row.
Scoring overtime winners. Maybe don't fall off a cliff this time and have your star player get traded. Learn from your mistakes, and Jarmo Kekalainen, with all the mistakes he's made, he has shown playoff success. He has shown when to go in with teams, and he's shown that if your team performs like this, very reminiscent of a certain 2019 Columbus Blue Jackets team that he went all in on. And if Buffalo is looking like this after the Olympic break, it would not surprise me if Jarmo got his hands dirty at the deadline. I don't know what it would be. I don't know who it would be for. Maybe you just leave the roster together and pray to God they stay healthy. But I think you got to reward them if they're playing into a wild card spot come deadline time. You got to reward this crew. This crew has been through hell and high water. You look at a guy like Owen Power. His name's been circling through trade rumors since he's been drafted. I feel like it's a good stretch for this team, and it probably made the Christmas time a lot better than it's been the last decade or so. This is the longest drought in North American sports outside of the Jets. So It's rough. It's rough.
Yeah, like I said, last time they made the playoffs, the Atlanta Thrashers were still an active NHL franchise. Yeah,
God
that's a
bless the
great point you
Buffalo.
made. Yeah, that's a great point you made about Jarmo Kekalainen, because that 2018-19 team, he went all in, had guys on expiring contracts with Artemi Panarin, Sergei Bobrovsky as well. Alex Tuck is a UFA on this team. I don't know if they're going to want to re-sign him. He wants Adrian Kempe money, so I don't know if don't know if the Pagulas are going to want to pay that, but also if you keep up the winning and you make the playoffs, get some playoff revenue, maybe that helps a little bit. But yeah, Jarmo Kekalainen, say what you will about him, he's not afraid to wheel and deal, especially if he calls a certain bald man from Edmonton. The Buffalo Sabres do have assets. Like, I don't think they're going to trade Odom Power, at least not in season. I think, for one thing, I think they should just keep him. But if there were ever a trade for that to happen, I think that would be the off season. But I don't know. I think they've had a lot of high draft picks. I think if a team wanted like a Consta Helenius, they could very much try on the trade. I think they just have a lot of young players on their roster they could trade. I don't know if you necessarily want to trade a Yuri Kulich, but if you can upgrade it to a legitimate top six forward, I think you do that. Same with Noah Östlund. Like, they just have so much young talent that they can make another Dylan Cousins for Josh Norris trade, but hopefully you get a player that can stay healthy. And I hope Josh Norris just stays healthy in general, because he produces when he's healthy.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy who'd probably be winning the Big 40 goal scorer if his shoulder wasn't made of glass. It's just the sad reality of what's happened. And, if he could stay healthy, like at the time, I thought Buffalo won that trade with him and Cousins. I thought they got the better player in that trade. And, when he's healthy, he's proven. But, I mean, how many games has he played with the Sabres since he's gotten there? Like, it has to be less than 82. There's no way.
No. Oh, there's no. I don't even know if it's 40.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
and he got traded there 2 years ago, didn't he?
Yeah, he got traded last deadline, so he's only played 17 games.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, my own. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, you'd like to see him get a full season under his belt. But this has been the story of Josh Norris's career. Like, oh, that's bad. He's never had a season over 70 games.
Yeah, 66 games is his most, and he's still got 35 goals that year.
That's rough, man. But that's rough. Like, he's got one season over 60 games. Yeah. That's not a lot of games. The only time he's ever played a full season was the COVID shortened one. That's 56 games.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. But hey, when he's healthy, his numbers don't lie. Just gotta stay healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's goal scorer, that's for sure.
Dominic Kubalik getting paid $8 million. It's crazy. Actually, he wins faceoffs. I won't say that. He's like 55% in the Doc career, so that's pretty good. But
yeah, but he got fourth in Calder voting, and Kubalik got third. So I think we know who the better guy is.
Made of glass, Brock Nelson. Jesus Christ, what a player!
Oof.
Olympian Brock Nelson.
Yeah,
he's actually been good this year, though. That's somewhat warranted, but still would have taken Robertson over him. But I'm not going back to the Olympics. We have changed topics.
Yeah. I only had the Sabres and Jets written down because they've just been on like the extreme ends of things, of winning games, losing games, but also teams like Winnipeg has been a very consistent team for the most part the past decade or so, and the Sabres have been horrible. To you, who have been some other teams that have stood out to you that are maybe not getting the headlines? Because like Colorado is, they're on pace for 62 wins, and I'm pretty sure they're on pace to break the all-time point record. They're on pace for 138 points, which is
they got their
more
third
than
regulation loss. Like, oh man, oh no. Nah, man, I gotta give a shout out to the Flyers. I mean, we're at the halfway point, and they're in the first wild card spot. And Trevor Zegras I think that was the most obvious bounce back player ever for the last 3 years. I think we all can agree on that one.
Yeah,
guy literally just said he wants to see winter again, and he's a fucking 70-point player again.
So
That's
real.
nice. That's literally what it is. Like he's like, I had seasonal depression. Like, and I don't even blame him. Like, every day looks the same when you live in a place like Florida, but also every day is nice if you look at it that way. But clearly through the lens of someone who's grown up in the Northeast, got a different view on that. And now he's in Philly, and this is probably the last market you expect him to succeed in, but he's killing it, and that's with Mishkov not playing too well. I think Vladar was such a slept-on pickup by them. I think we all said like, okay, that's probably like. I mean, and Ersson hasn't been dog shit, which is nice because he has been the last 5 years. So 6 times a charm.
What the Flyers need.
Steve. You can
not dog shit.
Kill Steve Mason. You can kill Steve Mason, but you can never kill the idea. Sam Ersson, 15-6-5, 309, 868 save percentage. Like he's like you can't kill the idea of Steve Mason. He always lives within you. But
that's Calder Trophy winning Steve Mason to you, pal.
Am I crazy to say that like okay, let's be honest. Like if we're looking at Coach of the Year right now, probably Todd McClellan in Detroit, but like Rick probably. Or Patrick Wall, but Rick Tocchet, man. Rick Tocchet has flipped this Philly team around. Yeah. Like there's been some good coaching performances, but dude, like Christian Dvorak's got a 5-year deal and he has 25 points in 39 games. That's a guy who took a 1-year flyer on himself, came to Philly, and has been an impact player on that team, playing in high leverage situations. Owen Tippett's been consistent as hell for them. He's like Money in the Bank 55-point guy for them now every year. He's got 25 points in 40 games. Couturier's finally putting together a healthy season, even though he's being a dick to Mishkov in the locker room, which I still won't get. Noah Cates has turned into a very good middle 6 forward. Like they're just a deep hockey team. Like Cam York is half point a game this year. Jamie Drysdale is finally half point a game, and he got his best friend back. I think that's hysterical, and they're both playing very well. Travis Sanheim, Olympian. Anyways, and this is with Tyson Foerster getting hurt halfway through the year, and that's a guy who was like I'm pretty sure second in points on their team last year. So this has been very impressive what Philly's done. I think they deserve a shout out of recognition just because it's a team that I can confidently say I didn't expect much out of this year. I didn't think they'd even be close to sniffing the playoffs, and they have comfortably been in a wild card spot for about 2 months now. So, same could probably be said for the Islanders, but I don't know. Philly's just a little more impressive to me.
Schaefer.
Yeah, Schaefer's just a fucking demon. Like it's not even funny. I'll take back everything I said in the draft process with him. Like, I bet if he played a full season as junior, I wouldn't have been saying that.
Me,
I just didn't get enough film on him.
Less than 20 games. How was I supposed to know he was going to be a generational defenseman? Like,
well, we had 5 goals in 17 games. How the fuck was I supposed to know he had an elite shot? Like, you can't tell that from a 17-game stint. But yeah, he's been super solid. And it's funny, you talk to like Capitals fans, you think the sky's falling. You're third in the fucking division. Like, shut up. Just learn how to score a power play goal. Which I can't believe I'm saying about a Washington Capitals.
Why is that an issue when you have
Jacob Chikrin's in the net front? That's why. Your leading goal scorer. And also, they're getting like a crazy season out of Jacob Chikrin. Like, no one – that's another guy who probably should have made the Olympic team if we're keeping it honest. Like, for Canada, Chikrin should have been on that team. That's ridiculous. Like, he has played so well this year. And, I mean, we got to talk about this team as well. The Devils, man. Like, that season has been – I'm not going to say it's a season from hell because there have been worse seasons, one right to the state next to you.
Frank Fleming would tell you otherwise.
I mean, dude, they're booing Luke Hughes off the ice, and that guy just signed an 8-year deal. Like, you're stuck with him for a while, guys. You got to get used to it. And, yeah, I know he had 2 own goals. Like, that sucks. But, Markstrom can't stay healthy. Hughes had, his almost fucking amputated himself. Timo Meier has I think he's off the ice for a family issue right now, which sucks, but that's a big part to miss. You're paying that guy $8 million. Dougie Hamilton's not playing like a $9 million defenseman. And what I think sucks the most, no one's talking about it, Simone Nemec was their number 2 defenseman this year, and he's been out for a month. I would know because I have been fantasy, but that guy took such a huge step for them this year, and he's been out of the lineup since December. All these things add up. And it's really stinks because I just you look at the Devils on paper, they should be in the playoffs. They have so much talent. Jack Hughes is a 100-point player. Nico Hischier, Jesper Bratt. They got so much talent across the board. And
their defense,
it always comes down to the same stuff. lack of depth scoring. The goaltending's not consistent. They have all this defensive help, and they're still having these miscues. I don't know, man. It's weird. I just think it's really weird. And obviously this year, I feel like it. Now that I've mentioned everything, it kind of is the season from hell. But like, come on, guys, you could have got creative and got Quinn Hughes. Let's not act like this was impossible.
They
you were trying to
Quinn
you were
Hughes.
trying to sell them shit for Quinn Hughes, which is fine, but you need to be not surprised when it doesn't work. Like you and I talked about it for months. All you had, yeah, it's going to cost, but like I promise you, if you gave them Nemec, Mercer, and Casey in a first, they probably would have gotten it. Like you have the assets to go get this done. Oh, the salary cap. Who gives a fuck? Like you can trade people later. Get the player who never is available on the market in sports. That is the brother of two of your other players and has openly talked about wanting to be a Devil.
He like used their GM like he's 50. He used his nickname, man. Like
oh. You know what? Yeah, it is a season from hell. Fuck. It's not as bad as the Rangers, but it might be right up there. Especially when like the Flyers are good, the fucking Islanders are good, the Sabres are turning it on. Like Metro's the arms race again, and you're slowly trickling towards the bottom. Hell, even the Penguins are playing better than you right now. And I still can't put a pulse on that Penguins team. I don't know what the fuck's going on there.
I don't know what they're doing.
Sidney Crosby. It's not even Sidney Crosby anymore. The whole team's devil magic. I
Justin Brazeau hat trick.
Anthony Mantha turning back the clock 5 years. You know, just like
yeah.
Oh my god, and like cool. Like I'd like to see Crosby get one more crack at the playoffs if it's possible. But like, holy shit! Like I'm confident no one saw that coming with the Penguins.
No,
like they were I think like wasn't it Freege? He was like they're the only team looking to not improve this offseason.
Yep.
I don't know what that says about the rest of the league, but I guess it just speaks to the parody of hockey. And they traded for a worse goalie, I think, or maybe a better goalie in Skinner, depending on how you look at it. Like,
well, a goalie that's actually healthy and playing right now, playing games. I know that.
Like Davidson's still been, or not Davidson, the other KD, Kylie Dubman is still selling off pieces, and you know, like I don't know, man. They're very intriguing. They have all these picks. If they want to, they can sell. You're going to have a hell of a glory. Like, this is the most Pittsburgh thing ever to have, like, Malkin right off into the sunset on a playoff run. The Pittsburgh Steelers do this all the time. They're doing it with Rodgers right now. Very Pittsburgh-esque thing to do, to have that final glory run with the old people. So let the unction ride on, and I want to see them play the Caps in round 2.
Hell yeah. Pittsburgh Pirates are actually spending money now, and so...
And they should. They got the best pitcher. They're one of the best pitchers in baseball. Like, he's incredible. And for God's sakes, don't let him go to the Dodgers or Yankees, you cowards.
No, the Yankees aren't doing shit. It's the Dodgers now. Like the Yankees have done fuck all. And I love watching the Blue Jays just spend all the money this offseason. They spent $337 million. So like within less than a calendar year, they've spent almost $1 billion if you add in Guerrero's extension. And they might not be done. They might get Tucker, and that's going to be like another $300 million. But anyways,
nice.
I just wanted to put some more respect on Dan Vladar. I don't get to look through the stats of every team and remember it. It's 239 goals against average and a 910 save percentage. Like that is well earned.
Hell of a season
for the Olympics. Yeah. Or any other teams that intrigue you? The LA Kings. I just keep every time I see them in my feed, like fire Jim Hiller. How does Jim Hiller have a job? Because he really should have lost his job in last year's playoffs. Like just looking at the Western Conference, like the Central, you have the three great teams, and there's just a bunch of mid. Like you have Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota, and you're gonna have Dallas and Minnesota play each other in round 1, probably, very likely. And then Seattle, who is 19-14-7 and is in a playoff spot right now. Like,
bro, there are 4 teams with a positive goal differential in the West. Like, what the fuck is going on out here?
And Utah's one of them and not in a spot.
Yeah, because they can't string together 3 in a row. They're 5-5 in the last 10. Like,
dude, even the Blackhawks can string 3 in a row. Okay, you know what?
First time ever. Like, shit. This is the first time in like 5 years they've had multiple 3-game win streaks. Like, Jesus. But like,
you know what else hasn't put 3 in a row? It's Oilers haven't gone 3 in a row either. I saw that. They've only won 2 in a row.
Well, they suck too. Like, we're not even talking about that. Like, Draisaitl's not a world beater. He's just really good, and that's the reason that they stink. Like, he's got 57 and 42. Oh no, he's not on like 1.5 point game pace. You fucking losers. Like, Nuge has been out a couple games. He's point a game. Hyman's point a game, but he was out 20 games. Like, obviously the depth's there, but like, it's not there. Like,
no, it is not. It is.
It's
not.
fucking Groundhog Day every year with the Oilers.
They're scratching Mangiapane and Frederick tonight. I saw, and they're playing the Predators.
Frederick has 3 points in 41 games. 8-year deal, by the way.
Why did they sign that contract, man?
Why did they sign that GM? Oh my god! Yeah. I hope Blackhawk. You know what? Bedard's coming back Monday against the Oilers. He's pumping Jarry, or Jarry's hurt. So who is it? Pickard?
Ingram.
Yeah, he's pumping Ingram.
It might be Pickard. I don't know, but one of those.
I don't care. It's happening. We're beating the Oilers on Monday. I've seen the vision. Just a mid hockey team, and we talk about this all the time. Like, you make all these deep playoff runs in a row, like eventually it's going to catch up with you, but like it was going to catch up with them regardless because they have no depth. Like, this is just the reality of the situation, and it sucks because, like, here's the worst part: if McDavid isn't like above average in October, and he's like doing what he's doing now, which is being a fucking world beater the last 6 weeks, they're probably not in this spot. But that's such fucking bullshit that your player has to be at this pace for you guys to even be relevant. Like, we talk about it all the time. Like, starting on time in October, yeah, it's overrated sometimes, but God, it helps you in the long run if you have a bad stretch.
It would sure help.
Like, you don't always have to play the comeback story, Edmonton. And I think it's even worse for Edmonton because look at your division. Vegas is begging you to take that spot. Like, they don't know what to do without Pietrangelo. And Seattle was in last place like a week ago. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on in the West. Like, at this point, just let's celebrate and make the playoffs. Because at least, like, he'll have one game where he gets 4 points and they win, and it'll be fun. And it'll be more entertaining than whatever Seattle's going to do. Seattle might not even get 4 goals. It's just the reality. Like, I think I saw a stat that, like, Beniers and Wright have 7 goals. Like, what the fuck?
Combined?
Yeah. No, not combined, each. But
I was going to say,
like, here, we'll play a game. We'll play a game. How many Kraken have over 10 goals?
I'm going to say 1.
2.
Okay. No, not that bad, but not great still. But the
one of them's Chandler Stevenson. They suck. They have 5 players over 20 points. I think the Hawks have more. Actually, I know they have more. Not good. It's not good. And I don't care what the stats say. I will trade for Shane Wright or Matty Beniers in a fucking heartbeat because I'll actually play with a team with an offensive pulse. Like, Shane Wright has 15 points in 40 games. If they even dare dangle him in a contract year, I will fucking pounce on that so fast.
Okay, so they traded Andre Burakovsky, sort of interrupt. He has 9 goals. What place would he be on the team with his 9 goals? And Burakovsky
third, scored and he'd be first in points. I know that much because their point getter's 27.
Yeah, he has 28 points.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
That is crazy.
Like, if they brought him and Donato back, they'd be 2 of their top 5 scorers. That's crazy. But it just speaks to how the team plays. The team doesn't play an offensive style of hockey, and they're probably not going to until, Berkeley Catton's hurt right now and he's young, and, Jacob Ryan's young, but, like, they're never going to play that style of hockey in the next 2 years. Like, they just don't have the horses for it. And it kind of sucks because if they even just had a little bit of pulse offensively, they're probably first in the fucking division because of how it is this year. And Decord's been good. Like you mentioned earlier, Grubauer's finally coming back from the dead. Like, whatever, like, of course he gets hot right before the Olympics. This is so great for Germany. Like, Germany's got to be sitting there like, Germany's got to be sitting there like the dang it. Dang it. Oh my God. I won.
I
actually won.
Yeah.
Or the guy that keeps digging, like that's people
Yeah,
who
the
just, like,
diamonds. Yeah.
Seattle's GM who hasn't cut him in the 5-year contract. Like, it's just, I finally have been vindicated. That being said, I need Anaheim to wake up because I feel like they could take over this
Yeah.
division.
They have
But
been
Carlson's hurt,
slumping.
so. But hey, Cutter Gauthier got booed off the ice tonight. That's nice.
Oh yeah, they're playing Philadelphia and they're losing 3-1.
Yeah, but Cutter Gauthier has more goals than anyone on Philly, so that's something.
Yeah,
Cutter Gauthier has 20 goals, by the way. 4-1 now. Philly just scored again. Shout out the Flyers. This is what happens when I talk good about them. Yeah. Normally, I talk good about a team, they start sucking. So this helps.
Loki Gauthier could have been a guy on the Olympics. He'll definitely be there next time.
In 4 years he's there. Like there's not like that'll be it. Actually, no, he'll be the Jason Robertson in 4 years. Sorry, we can't bring him. He didn't go to the Worlds or some shit. Oh, the Leafs are beating the Panthers. That's interesting. Sorry, we probably should stop looking through scores, but
yeah, there's a lot of games tonight.
Yeah, there's some good ones too. But I think those are the most interesting stories right now. I think obviously there's more interesting stories in the East with just the way the East is shaking up right now. Like there's a 5-game gap between the wild card and last place in that conference. Like it's 6-point gap between last wild card and last place in the conference, and everyone is over Bettman 500. That's a thing.
Fuck this Chungus League, bro.
Fuck this Chungus League. Oh my god. But I'm excited, man. Like this is just like it might be the most interesting second half of hockey you've had since like 2019. If I was a betting man, like in 2019 had some crazy trades at that deadline because there were so many teams right in the mix. And I think some teams are going to teeter off at some point. Like you can't have all 16 teams in the East be competing for a playoff spot. Maybe you can. This is a year where 4 teams get over 100 points or some shit. You know how the NHL League sims and the video game in like year 8 after all the offense is gone. Mm-hmm. But this is the league Gary Bettman wants. So there's that. He wants a league of parity. But whatever, league of parity led to the Blackhawks having a potential 18-point increase. So that's what I have to say to that.
Here's what I hope. I hope Florida misses the playoffs so we at least get a top 15 pick.
Give me 2. Give me 2. Give me 2 of them. Give me 2 top 15 picks. Let me get fucking Ivar Stenberg and Elton Hermanson or Adam Novotny or, Ryan Rubrick or someone like that with that Florida pick.
Or Caleb Malhotra, the son of Manny, because I think he plays.
Or Joe again.
Yeah, who plays on the Oil Kings, I'm pretty sure.
Or we can get Tynan Lawrence, which they're already posting articles about. So for the Hawks, which I wouldn't mind. I like Tynan Lawrence. I think he's just got a motor on him and he'd fit right in. But I think you and I have been firmly Stenberg pilled for a while now.
Oh, no. I think
Bedard getting tailed by 2 Swedes. Oof. Demon time.
I think I'd rather take Veerhoff at this point too, because it just like Matthew Schaefer, the way he's played. Not saying Veerhoff is going to be Schaefer, but just get the best players available. I don't care if it's
like him and Levshunov on your right side, and like Renzel's your third pair, or Crevier's your third pair.
Yeah,
I love Crevier, but part of me wants to sell high next year. But if you're going to get that big forward, Renzel's going to get it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Decisions.
That's the decisions you're gonna have to make in the next couple of years here.
But if you told us a year ago Crevier would have played himself into this spot, none of us would have believed you. No. Kaiser, I would have believed you a little bit, just because I feel like he had the skating. But dude, I would never expected Crevier to get top 4 minutes this year, and that's what he's gotten. He's been Vlasic's most consistent partner the last month. I feel like, which is interesting. But shout out Lou Krebs, the GOAT.
Oh yeah, and Caleb Malhotra is on the Brantford Bulldogs, so I bet Kyle Davidson's getting a lot of viewings of him. Just want to put that out there. Not that I know much about him. I just know he's Manny Malhotra's son. Man, I want the Hawks to just make a trade. I love trades. I love transactions. I love that. Like whenever I see the Blue Jays make a free agent sign, that just makes my day. It makes me so happy. I want the Hawks to do that as well. I One guy I've been looking at, like, who's been underperforming. I would love to see if they can find a way to get Kent Johnson from Columbus. And now that I was looking at the Winnipeg, I think Perfetti would be a great. I hope they make more trades like that. Bet on young talent. Maybe you don't have to trade the high end prospect or draft pick. Maybe you can trade like a guy in the AHL and maybe like a second round pick or something. I don't know, but
I think the
I
one
want
I
to see
keep
trades.
circling back. I was gonna say I think the one I keep circling back to is Lafreniere. Like I think there's a real possibility that guy's available.
Yeah.
And he's already got a good deal. He's making 7, I think, for like the next 5.
7.45 because I was looking at it. Yeah.
Very comfortable with paying that, especially with the way this team's cap situation is. And that's a guy who, oh man, that size and that top 6 with the amount of smaller forwards we have, like he doesn't have to be the guy either. And he'll actually get power play time. It's a miracle. And if he's inconsistent, then whatever. Like, there's your third liner. Cool. We got a third liner that makes $7 million. So do the Sharks. His name's Windberg.
Yeah, I was gonna say with the going rate, like
might as well. It's gonna be market value in like 5 years, if I had to guess. I mean, maybe more like low second line value, but you know, that's like what that's gonna be the equivalent of like what Bertuzzi's getting right now in a couple of years. Yeah. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
So talk about a guy that can learn a thing or two from Bertuzzi is Lafreniere. Learn how to use that size in front of the net. Priceless.
What was I gonna say? I don't remember. Oh yeah, I was gonna say like, I think I was talking with Connor, who was a Rangers fan, our good friend Connor Boomer. He was like, I hope the Rangers get McKenna for first overall, and I was just thinking like Rangers haven't been able to develop shit of like a forward worth of damn. Like you're gonna mess up McKenna too or Stenberg or whoever they would pick.
Stay away
I
from
don't trust them to develop.
Exactly.
Stay away from her. Get a Chris Drury, stay away from her. Get a job.
Yeah, get a job. Stay away from her. Bum. Bum.
Since we're in the new year and we're like halfway through the season now, before we wrap this podcast episode up, I want to like go through cup final predictions, how we're feeling halfway through the year so far, and some awards as well. We kind of touched on it earlier. Who would you have for your heart right now? I think it's a pretty foregone conclusion. It's got to be Nate Dogg.
Is it though?
What do you think it should be? I think it's Nate Dogg.
McDavid, man. Like, fuck. If the Oilers don't have McDavid, they are so fucked this year.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, he has turned it on so much. Like, was he like over 10 points behind McKinnon at one point?
It's only 2-point gap right now.
He's so good. This is what I'm talking about with McDavid. I talk about it every year. This guy should win the Hart every fucking year, if we're being honest. Because if the Oilers don't have him, they are so effing screwed. I can confidently say if the Avs don't have McKinnon, they're probably still a playoff team. Fringe, but probably still a playoff team. And I don't think I can say that with McDavid. So I'll be in contrarian and say McDavid, which sounds hilarious, being contrarian, taking the best player.
Yeah.
But you're right. It is probably McKinnon.
Contrarian, just the best player in the world.
Because, like, McKinnon might hit 70 this year, and if he does that, like, he's getting it.
Whoa.
But, dude, McDavid's got a real possibility to just turn it on and get 150 points if he wants to.
He's already on pace.
What's he got right now?
On pace. I got the math. He's on pace for 140 points, 50 goals, 90 assists. That's with a slow start.
Exactly. I don't know, man. So it's a long season, and if he keeps playing like that, he's going to be the only reason the Oilers make the playoffs. So, if we're really going to – I'm going to use the logic they used the last time Nathan McKinnon was a Hart finalist back in 2018. Is he the best player on his team?
That's in the playoffs?
Yeah. Fuck that. But, no, I do think there's a real shot McDavid wins this if he keeps up this pace, though. But McKinnon's just been lights out. Like, he's on pace for 70 goals. Yeah. Like, that's I think
that might be it. They're right there if he hits it.
Dude, Boldy's on pace for 50. What the fuck? So is Morgan Geeky, but we just don't talk about that.
The most goals in the last calendar year with Nate Dogg. Also, shout out to Macklin Celebrini. Like, he's just 63.
Oh, he's second in assists. He's tied with Rantanen for assists right now at 41. Actually, I think Rantanen just took the lead again. But I think Celebrini plays tonight, so those keep trading that. But yeah, that's my heart pick.
I would have put Bedard. I think if Bedard kept healthy, he still might be in top 5, but I think he should have been in the top 3 for our finalists because I think we've seen his worth on that team.
Yeah, Celebrini will get that 3rd spot this year, unfortunately, but Celebrini's earned it.
Well deserving though. Yeah.
Oh, well deserving. I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah. Norris. I think we kind of talked about it earlier.
Darren Rapp.
Yeah, Darren. Isn't he point per game, or he's like right there?
Got
He had a
34
hat trick
points.
the other night.
Got 34 points.
Okay,
6 scoring.
He's gonna get paid crazy. Like with all the big names off the market and the lack of right at a defenseman, I don't think he's that old. I think he's 29, 30. He's gonna get money. He's gonna get paid.
Norris, I'm going with the guy who I thought should have won it last year. Not Cale Makar. Fucking Zach Werenski. Zach Werenski's getting his Norris this year. He should have got it last year. Like, he's the only reason Columbus has a pulse some nights. I don't think people talk about just, and I'm looking at it right now statistically, but like I just know on the on ice level, this guy's been eating minutes since he was 19 years old, and he is now hit an offensive peak his last 3 years that I don't think anyone ever really saw in him. Like I always thought he could be like a 60-point guy, but he's point a game now, and he is a horse. And did he make the Olympic team? He did.
I
right?
sure hope he did. I think if you leave Werenski off. Oh my god! Oof, my own.
I gotta look at this. Now I gotta look at this, but he's my Norris pick. I thought he should have won it last year. If you want to give it to Makar again, I don't doubt it. If you give it to Lane Hudson and not Zach Werenski, I will lose my mind now.
They're not giving it.
He's going with the defenseman. Terrible.
Yeah, I want to give it to Cider, but they're probably gonna go because I just
think it's Cider.
Oh, because
good pick.
Like he doesn't because we talked about it earlier. I'm looking at some of the stats he has. I think his expected goal share is 60%. Like Detroit has ridiculous numbers, and I remember there was a period where we're talking, is Mo Cider ever going to be that great? Because there were some years where he didn't have great numbers, and now he is just popping off.
Of course.
I think you should at least get some consideration. I'll go with him because it's
sure.
Yeah, it just feels it's either Hughes or Makar, and really even Werenski is a different name in there. I like to see someone other than those two win.
Facts. Also, Zach Werenski did make the team. I wanted to mention it earlier. I think Jay Fresh pointed it out, but USA has their American Travis Sanheim. It's Noah Hannafin. God, terrible. Yeah. But yeah, that's my Norris pick. And I'm pretty confident in that just because of how good he is. But I think he's missed a couple games this year, so I might fuck him.
Vezina, this one is interesting because I honestly have no idea. There might be an obvious pick that I'm missing here, but because I know Blackwood's been injured, but if he just stays healthy the rest of May, it might just be him because he has the most wins, best goals against average, and right there in save percentage.
Hear me out. I think I'm in the camp of it's going to be either a Vasilevsky, because he has been one of the main reasons the Lightning have been good this year. He's back to his elite form. I've always touted that the guy probably should have a couple more Vezinas in his belt. This might be the year he gets one. But man, Logan Thompson and Darcy Kemper are doing it again. Kemper was a finalist last year. Was Thompson a finalist last year?
No, he might have been close though.
Because Thompson doesn't have as good of a tandem this year, and he is carrying that Washington team. I bet if you asked 10 different Capitals players or fans, they'd say he's the MVP of the team. I'm so confident in that. And dark horse, I don't think he's played enough games, unfortunately, but Brandon Bussy's been really good. He's been really good. Is he a rookie? No, he's not. He's 27. I was gonna say dark horse Calder.
Really Calder. Good. No, that belongs to Jesper Wallstedt. Now should belong to Schaefer.
Maybe Wallstedt. He's been so good. Made the Olympic team because of it.
I just want to show Dan Vladar again. He's having. I didn't know he's been having that good of a season. Good for him, and good for the Flyers because they've been having horrible goaltending for forever. It seems like. And yeah, Spencer Knight too. He still's got a 910 save percentage there.
Yeah, Spencer Knight. It wouldn't surprise me if he was a Vezina finalist in the next 3 years, depending on how this team projects. But because if they're good, it's because of him.
I go just go chalk because it's like when the Bruins had their crazy 65 win season. Ullmark won just because he had the most wins, best goals against average, and save percentage. Like
Scott Wedgwood Vezina trophy.
Yeah. Who's playing more games? Because Blackwood's played 16. Dude, he's played 20.
I know. I think Wedgwood. That'd be a crazy story.
Scott Wedgwood for Vezina. Let's do it. One of the Woods on Colorado is going to win the best, and it's the same as Ullmark and Swayman. I don't think like the game split. I think we're pretty close. Like I don't think Ullmark played more than 50 when he won.
No,
I think he played like 47 or 48.
I think it was like a 45-35 thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up.
My pick's Vasilevsky though. I just think if I was like, they're not gonna do it, but Logan Thompson probably should get it. But I think Vasilevsky's gonna get just because if he and Kucherov aren't doing what they're doing, I don't know where the Lightning are this year. Also, like Hagel turned it on, but
yeah, also very deserving of the Olympic spot. 22-23, Ullmark 49 games played, 46-1, 189 goals against average, and a 938 save percentage.
That's fucking crazy.
Crazy.
He's the one that got traded. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
And they were right, I think.
And they made the right decision, I would say. Yeah, because fortunately, Ullmark's struggling with Ottawa. And
Swayman and Dolmark, they're back.
So we did Hart, Norris, Vezina. I don't think any other award. Oh, Calder. It's got to be Schaefer.
I mean, man, Demidov's been sick. It's probably Schaefer just because Ty goes to the defenseman for rookies, but
yeah,
man, Demidov's been solid. Like
Demidov has been good. Also, shout out to Seneca.
Underrated. He should probably be a finalist.
I think he's cooled off a little bit, but I still think his points. Oh, he's 32 points in 42 games. That's still good.
Yeah, he's still good. Also, we'd say it all the time, but if Artem Levchinov had like 3 more goals, he'd be in the conversation.
I'm so serious. If he has 5 goals,
if half those posts go in, he's a Calder finalist because he's playing like 23 a night now, or like 20 a night now plus. He's not playing 27 a night like Schaefer, but you know.
Oh, he's ridiculous.
That's why he's winning. Like, we'll play a game, Pierce. How many times was Schaefer under 25 minutes in the last 5 games?
0.
Once. It was 22 minutes. He played 27 against Chicago, 25 against Columbus, 27 against the Rangers. Like, he's so good. He's so good. Holy smokes. Dragging the Islanders to the 2nd seed in the Metro.
Yeah.
And Sorokin, obviously. Sorokin's been lights out this year. I think that he's back in form. I think that's
and Olympian
needs to be talked about a little more too. Yeah. Oh, Horvat's been sick too. He's gonna have like 40 goals this year. He's got 21 goals, 12 assists. Yeah, that's really good. It's also a guy who I think very rightfully earned his spot on the Olympic team, but because of a role, I think. But also like you could put him on the power play and he could bang in a couple goals if you need it. But also like we're bringing best of the best. But leadership. At least that leadership's better than the other New York team.
I'm just looking at the games again. Shout out to the Sabres who are up 4-0 on the Canucks in the 3rd period. So hopefully they don't blow it in the last 10 minutes. And the Islanders are up 5-0 on the Devils.
Shout out the Devils. We got stink.
And the Devils are doubling them in shots, 34-16.
Oh, dude, I need to see Frank's video tonight. It's gonna be glorious. I wish he was in New Jersey. I wish he was at the game.
Dude, he might be. It's on Long Island. Or is it in Long Island?
Please let him be at the game.
I'm going to look
hysterical. Be hysterical.
No, he isn't. Wait, I can play this from last night, though.
I can't hear it.
What's with my mic? You know what? I'm not going to try. I was trying to play the video for last time. We'll do this and then wrap up the podcast. We're at over 2 hours. Who we got in the Cup Finals? Who are Cup Final and Cup winner pick?
You first.
I'm gonna go rematch. I'm a sucker for seeing rematches. I don't think we've seen much rematches recently. One of these years, it's gonna happen. I think we're gonna see a rematch of '96, Colorado and Florida, and I think Colorado dethrones Florida just like they did to Tampa. And Nate McKinnon gets a second cup.
Okay, interesting. I think it's finally the year I get it right.
Dallas.
No. Not Dallas. Although I have been beating the drum for Dallas for a good couple of years, but I predicted Vegas Tampa a good amount. And Vegas is going to be one of those teams
never
that's
happened.
Vegas is going to sleepwalk in. They're going to turn on when it matters. Mitch Marner is going to become this playoff demon, and it's going to be the funniest thing ever. And then, Tampa's Tampa. Braden Point's going to have like 50 points this year. Will be point a game in the playoffs. And, Mitchell Chafee will become the next Barclay Goodrow, and they'll win a cup. Like, that'll just be what happens because nothing good happens in this world. And the Lightning are going to win. Lightning Vegas. Just because I don't, I'd like to see something different happen. Like, I wanted to pick Carolina, but they're still going to run into someone. But, I don't have the confidence to pick a Detroit. I don't have the confidence to, pick a Minnesota. I'm not picking Minnesota, I'll tell you that much.
I don't even think
I still think their depth is terrible. Their depth is terrible, and no one's talking about that. But it's okay because they're third in the NHL, and they've done this before, and they'll be out in round 2. So it'll be good. Maybe round 2, and then a win a round, but it'll probably be round 1 against the Stars.
That's not happening.
Nico Rantanen's going to pants that fucking franchise. Oh, man. But, that's my cup pick.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be one of those Florida teams because I simply cannot see another team.
Cup runs to Florida. And
in the West.
1 year, they wanted to go skiing.
Yeah. In the West, Vegas is a good pick. They can turn it on and they can just run the gauntlet. I think the same thing with Colorado, Dallas as well. And there's still a part of me that's like Edmonton might just face LA in the first round and then cruise on the way.
Oh no, not again.
Yeah.
It's like the Brady meme with the rings, but it's Edmonton with first round wins against the fucking Kings.
Over LA.
I just think Vegas, they got a good shot to run the West if they get it going. And, Colorado, I can't pick. I just can't. I can't. I don't think we're ever going to, at least not for a while, we're not seeing a President's Trophy winner win a cup. Because I've seen this tale way too many times with a team with 60-plus wins against everything's been so easy the whole way, and the second they face adversity, they suck.
It's over. Yeah,
it's happened with the last 3 times someone's been in that spot with a team that good. So maybe break the streak. Hawks were the last one to do it. I think it was Detroit before that. Am I right? But
they're the last one to do it a full season in the Cap era.
Yep. There's only 2 teams to do it in the Cap era. And I think that speaks volumes to just, one, the parity of the playoffs and the fact that any team can win. And I think that's one of the rare sports where you can truly say any team can win. I think the only one that's close outside of that is the NFL because we've seen teams out of the 6th seed win a championship. But I guess baseball too to an extent. But baseball's a little different. I just feel like everything can change so at one point home field was decided by the fucking all-star game. The whole thing is wacky. But fucking dumb league. And they won't change anything really that would help it. Except the pitch clock, that was a good change. I'll give them that. But that's all I gotta say. I'm done tangenting. We can wrap this up.
Yeah, we're at well over 2 hours. So thank you all for tuning into our first pod of 2026. Give us a 5-star rating on your preferred podcast platform. If you're watching our beautiful faces on YouTube, be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content, whether that is the podcast or if you just want to watch little clips from the show and don't want to watch 2 hours and 12 minutes of this. So for Pierce and Dylan, take it easy and we will talk another time.